Champions can be forgotten, but a legacy lasts forever. The stories, the struggles, the victories are our story. And now the starting lineup for your St. Thomas Aquinas basketball.
Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas, got to look there at the pregame hype video here tonight. Starting lineups out on the floor, about to wrap up, and tip-off is coming up here on 38th spot. Tanner Collins, Rick Zeke. Starting lineup presented by DM Injury Law. We'll start with the home team. We mentioned Sydney Blame there in the open, player to watch here tonight, alongside Maya Verdugo, Francis Groves, Reagan Williams, and Avery Young, the starters for Notre Dame de Sion. And for St. Thomas Aquinas, it's Krause, Boylan, Welsh, Sabers, and Goodenow. Starting lineups here tonight, presented by DM Injury Law. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, sponsored by You Move Me. Rick, we'll start with Notre Dame de Sion.
Well, they certainly must limit their turnovers. They're averaging over 20 turnovers a game. They must stop Aquinas' transition game. That starts with rebounding, and they want to get to the line. You get to the line when you take really good shots in the paint. They're averaging about 22 free throws a game. St. Thomas Aquinas, it starts with defensive intensity, Coach Etzel said. They must be strong with the ball. They must share the ball. They must not dribble, and they must make good decisions.
And the coaches for Notre Dame de Sion, it's Terrell Ford, off to a 7-3 start for Notre Dame de Sion. And for St. Thomas, they are led by Rick Hetzel, his 28th season with St. Thomas Aquinas. And we're underway from Kansas City. St. Thomas works left to right here in the first quarter, and a quick bucket put in by Layla Boylan, and we're going to be calling her name a couple times here tonight, Rick.
She's an excellent player. She's got 5'11", junior, very, very skilled, numerous Division I offers already.
A quick 2-0 start for the home team, St. Thomas, who is off to a perfect 7-0 start this season, and there is a steal by Boylan going coast to coast. 4 quick points for number 11 in white. And it's going to be the guard play here tonight for St. Thomas. We talked about that with Terrell Ford, head coach for Notre Dame de Sion, earlier this week.
They're really going to have to move the ball. And ball movement, player movement is going to be a must.
First shot up by Sydney Blame, off the mark. Player to watch for Notre Dame de Sion here tonight. Quick 4-0 start for St. Thomas Aquinas, rocking the retro jerseys. There's a turnover on the move. Here's Blaine. And Notre Dame de Sion on the board.
Defensive turnover. One of the big things Coach Ford said is our offense has to be created by our defense, and there was a good example right there.
Tanner Collins, Rick Zeke with you here tonight on 38th spot. Nice dump inside and a bucket in the paint for Nora Goodnow. Her first points here tonight, 6'2" junior.
You're going to see a lot of that pick and roll with size rolling down to the paint.
So a 3-for-3 start from the field for the Saints. They'll dump it down near side for Williams. Just a freshman. Back out for Blaine. Little contact inside, no whistle. Good defensive work inside by Goodenow. And a nice look inside for Sabers. 6-foot junior is committed to play softball at Penn State. And she gets her first bucket here in the first quarter.
And great example of how she runs the floor. Her and Goodenow can really run the floor. They're very athletic for their size.
And an early timeout taken by Terrell Ford. An 8-2 start for St. Thomas Aquinas.
this is not the start that Sion wanted to be facing. They needed to start out well, and they need to run their tempo. Right now, the pressure is going to bother them at the guard position, and they got to get up down the floor. A turnover, for the most part, it's going to have to be based on the transition defense, and they got to get back down the floor.
There's head coach Rick Hetzel. He's led the way for St. Thomas Aquinas for 28 seasons, and they have been to the state championship all 28 years. And they're looking to push the ball here tonight. He mentioned the depth they have this season. What a career he's had here for St. Thomas.
Well, he's already in the Kansas Hall of Fame. Coach Hetzel is 8 state championships, going for his 9th. Coach Ford, his 3rd year at Sion, he's really trying to build. Last 2 years, he's really finished strong with this team, and the bar is set high for this team this year.
How about that finish inside by Alex Krause, 5'8 senior. You're seeing the guard play here early. That's exactly what head coach Hetzel was talking to us this week. A 10-2 start for the home team. Way outside is Blaine. She'll set up the offense here. Avery Young thought about the 3 and pulls it back and turns it over. Sabres ahead for Boylan off the glass, and she has an early 4 points midway through the first quarter.
Very skilled around the goal. She can really finish well. Krause is really going to be able to defend well. She's very active with her hands and with her feet. That's going to be really tough for Blaine to get to the basket.
Offensive foul there called Notre Dame de Sion will give possession back to the Saints.
She replaces Hudson Welsh.
12-2 start for the Saints here in the opening frame.
Sion moves into a zone, little 2-3 zone.
Ainsley Cook off the bench. Another nice dump inside, an easy 2 for Addison Sabres, who has 4.
Well, they do an excellent job, as well as any team I've seen in a while, on a high-low. So you got the 2 big girls there. They really do a good job of pinning the defense, and they pass the ball well from the high post.
Had a good conversation with Terrell Ford, head coach for Notre Dame de Sion this week. Talked about the strength of schedule, playing up a class. These type of games prepare them for the playoffs.
Absolutely, and he finished the last 2 seasons very well, and he thought he had a lot to do. That had a lot to do with his schedule. So, I mean, he's 7-3 right now. His only losses are 3 quality basketball teams. He thought Shawnee Mission South got out of hand early, and it's just going to make him better at the end of the year.
Look at that speed down the floor from Krause. And St. Thomas Aquinas has yet to miss from the field.
And most of those are layups. So Sion's really going to have to get back down the floor. Their defensive transition is really hurting them right now. And a lot of it had to do with the turnover.
Here's Avery Young driving in, a nice move, and called for a travel. I thought for a second they were going to get a foul called. A lot of contact there. She went weaving through the lane. Second turnover called on Notre Dame de Sion here in the opening quarter. 16-2, 14-point advantage for Aquinas.
The Aquinas girls know Avery Young well. She started at St. Thomas Aquinas High School, so Coach Hetzel said she was a super kid and was looking forward to see her play. They really move the ball well.
Baseline is Krause. She'll hit a triple. First 3 ball put down by the senior, who has a game-high 7 points in the opening 5 minutes.
You have to find her in the zone. They'll float her from the point all the way to the corner. She found it. They found her here all by herself.
Nice move by Young off the mark. Had a good look there. Couldn't quite get it to fall. Back come the Saints. A perfect 9 for 9 from the field here in the first quarter. Krause will try another. too strong. And the rebound brought down by Maya Verdugo, another player to watch here tonight for Notre Dame de Sion. Just a sophomore, but she has filled up the stat sheet through 10 games.
She can shoot it. She's shooting a little bit over 35% from the three, and she's going to have to find a way to get open.
Here's Sydney Blaine out top, rocking the pink Nike shoes here tonight. Nowhere to go. Nice double team on the far side of the floor. Spin move inside. And back come the Saints.
The size and the length of the post players from Aquinas is really bothering Sion.
And a jump ball called there underneath the basket. That was Alex Krause and Avery Young. Now substitutions on both sides. A near line change for the Saints. They'll bring back in Sabers alongside Hudson Welsh.
For the Storm, number 25, Francis.
And Ainsley Cook back out on the floor for St. Thomas Aquinas.
Coach Ford's trying to run a set play here, see if they can probably isolate Blaine a little bit on the block. See if they can get some action out of that.
Here's Williams working inside. Nice move. Layup doesn't go. Saints looking to push, as they've done all quarter. And the first turnover by the home team, St. Thomas Aquinas. Now Blaine looking to push the pace.
You can see with her size and her ball handling ability, Blaine's going to be a really good college player.
Quinn Simmons near side, freshman for the Storm. A lot of steps and a travel call there on Reagan Williams. Kind of caught a no man's land, trying to weave her way to the basket. Third turnover by the Storm here in the first quarter. 46 seconds and change to go. Saints leading 19-2.
Aquinas is really rotating players. Most of their perimeter shooters are in there right now. Excellent pass.
A great look there out top from Layla Boylan and an easy finish. How about the offensive efficiency here in the first quarter from St. Thomas?
Well, you're going to have to pressure them. And right now they're doing just about whatever they want to do offensively. Excellent pass by Boylan from the perimeter.
The Storm can hold for one final shot. Nice spin move inside and the foul. What a finish by Reagan Williams.
Good footwork down there on the post. Just a good-looking freshman.
The basket is good. The foul is on Madison.
Good body control, concentration.
Against size, excellent play. Excellent offensive play.
For the Saints, Nora Gooden.
Nora Gooden now will check back in for the Saints.
The ability to run the floor by the Aquinas girls are really different right now. It's tough to set up your defense. You're scrambling on the transition defense, and they look right to the basket.
Free throw is too strong. Saints look to push. Boylan dumps it ahead and turns it over. And the Storm get one final shot up. They will not, and that ends the opening frame here on 38 the spot, with the Saints leading 21-4. Second quarter action is coming up here on 38 the spot.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. If you've been injured in a car wreck, you don't deserve the medical bills, you don't deserve the lost wages, and you don't deserve to be treated like a nobody. You deserve better. You deserve someone in your corner. At my firm, all we do is injury law. We've recovered over $1 billion for people just like you. We're here to make sure you get what you deserve. If you've been hurt, call me. I've got this.
Why do people love You Move Me?
Because we show up on time.
And take good care of their belongings.
Because we're friendly, uniform,
and professional.
I love You Move Me because they're reliable and they make moving effortless.
Love your move with You Move Me.
The DM Injury Law Game of the Week on 38 The Spot is brought to you by DM Injury Law. You Move Me, your Kansas City area Toyota dealers, Compass Financial Resources, Athletic Solutions, and Cruise Elite Basketball Academy.
Also with us, carrying on class of 89, Kelly Bishop's Canadian 90.
Welcome back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School. Second quarter is coming up here on 38 The Spot. Tanner Collins, Rick Zeke with you here tonight, 40-year head coach in Kansas City. Rick, you've coached for a long time, tons of experience. How hard is it to defend a team that has this high level of guard play and a team that likes to push the ball up the floor?
Well, first of all, you're going to have to try to pressure them a little bit and contain the basket. They're shooting layups, and when teams shoot layups at this level, they're probably going to be tough to beat. So I'm sure Coach talked a little bit about getting back down the floor and make it difficult for them. Right now, they're very comfortable offensively. As you see, they're going to be able to swing the ball from side to side. They got a post player. They play out of the post, and they make the game easy right now.
That's a good start defensively by the Storm, causing a turnover there inside Nora Goodernow, and that's how the second quarter gets started. Aquinas only missed one shot in the first quarter. Pretty good efficiency. Now the first possession in the second frame here for the Storm.
Storm have to get Blaine involved a little bit. That's a tough matchup. I know they got Krause on her, but she's got to get involved.
Krause had a game-high 7 points in the first quarter, and that one nearly rattled in, and she'll head to the line to shoot 2. First free throws for either side here tonight. Layla Boylan, 5'10 junior, got 4 points in the first quarter.
Layla's got a family with a basketball history. Her dad, Nate, played at William Jewell, was a star there. Her older sister went to William Jewell. For those people that know Kansas City female basketball players, the name Stark should be very familiar from St. Teresa. Her mom was one of the best players to ever play in Kansas City. Her brother, Kellen Boykin, who played for me at Bishop Miege, is at David Lipscomb. And she's just going to carry on that tradition. She loves the game. She's getting better and better, and she's definitely going to be a Division I athlete.
6 points tonight for Layla Boylan. Both free throws good. Nice rebound on the other side by the Saints. Boylan pushing back up the floor.
Coach Ford just made a good point. When Avery Young missed her shot, he certainly started screaming, get back down. Get down the floor. You got to be able to defend that basket.
Down crowd by Maya Verdugo. Here's Williams inside, and a nice and one to finish the opening frame. For the Saints, Notre Dame to Sion, that is. Got to get Sydney Blame going in the scoring column. There's another turnover. Back from the Saints the other direction. See the height difference. Put back by Goodernow, 6'2" junior.
And she does an excellent job keeping the ball up. She never brings it lower than her chin. She's excellent fundamental. Also a volleyball player, using her size a little bit. She's an extremely good athlete, only a junior.
Nice dribbling there by Maya Verdugo. She splashes it home. A little 8-footer. First bucket here tonight.
They need her to get involved.
Another good look inside, and another finish by Goodernow, now at 6.
When they have Sabers and Goodnow out there, they cover both sides of the rim, and they're long on defense, and they can both run the floor.
Rel Ford setting up the possession here for the Storm. Sydney Blaine out top. Looking to drive, offhand, too strong. Williams brings down the rebound, and the jump ball called. The possession arrow will keep it here with the Storm.
Good move by Sydney Blaine, just didn't finish it. They need her to be a lot more aggressive offensively.
Friel and Wells check back in for the Saints, along with Sabers. So Goodernow gets the seed after quick 4 points here, 6 points overall.
Excellent job defensively by Ainsley Cook there, helping out with the post and then moving her feet and getting back to cover on the perimeter.
And a foul called inside Williams has been a force in the paint. She had a nice bucket there to end the first quarter. She's been a bright spot here in the first half for Notre Dame de Sion.
And she feels comfortable with her back to the basket. One dribble and she's got some moves.
Verdugo looking for somewhere to go, gets it into Blaine. Thought about the three. That one deflects out of play. The 5th turnover here in the first half will give possession back to St. Thomas Aquinas.
And I agree with Coach Ford. He said, you got to shoot it. He's telling Sydney Blaine, she's got to put that ball up.
Nice. Turnover picked off by Blaine. A little between the legs dribble, spins, gets it up, and it's too strong, and the rebound brought down by Addison Sabers. Back the other way come the Saints. Welsh dumps it inside. Friel with the finish.
Excellent basketball.
A chance to cap off the old-fashioned three-point play.
The basket is good. The foul's on the
Excellent pass down the sideline. It's just excellent basketball. They push it down the sideline. Hicks throws it down. Fill in the lane. They got somebody on the weak side to help if it doesn't go in. And again, they're having their way with him offensively.
Alex, you switched it. I got you.
Friel at the line, junior, 5'10". A little strong on the free throw, but it knocks out of play and he'll stay with the Saints. Baseline out of bounds.
Saints, number 11, Layla Boylan.
Layla Boylan will check back in. Alex Krause will take a seat, who has a game-high 7 points.
Coach Hetzel works really hard on out-of-bounds plays. They really try to execute. Good block.
Yeah, nice block inside by Sydney Blaine. Another jump ball. It'll stay with the Saints.
Saints ball.
Tanner Collins alongside Rick Zeke here tonight on 38th the spot. Aquinas leading 29-6. Nice inbounds, back-to-back blocks from Sydney Blaine. The Saints keep with it. Boylan will try a three, and the rebound brought down by Verdugo, her second.
Excellent box out by the Storm.
Verdugo's a player that's going to do a little bit of everything for the Storm. A nice steal and takeaway by Boylan. And she dumps it across. Another beautiful pass. Wells with the finish.
Well, Coach Hetzel talked about sharing the ball. There's a great example right there. No dribbling. She picked up a loose ball, pivoted, looked for her teammate, an easy bucket.
Another timeout taken by Terrell Ford. 31-6 is the lead for St. Thomas Aquinas. It's been the passing, the layups. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors here tonight. The DM Injury Log Game of the Week is brought to you by Cruz Elite Basketball Academy, Junk King of Kansas City, Safe Haven, R.E. Pedrati Company, Cumpy's Sports and Apparel, Arment Enterprises, and Mike Sill Insurance.
We have some luck with this tonight from the class.
Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School, Tanner Collins, Rick Zeke with you on the call here tonight. Rick, Saints have been efficient.
Oh, absolutely. I think Coach Hetzel's probably talking to his team about keep up the defensive intensity. Every possession, get something out of it. Coach Ford's got to be over there talking about we have to pick up the tempo. We have to do something defensively. Aquinas is way too comfortable passing the ball. They start in man. They went into the zone. I'm sure he's talking a little bit about you got to box out. And they did it the last 2 possessions. And the bottom line is they got to score baskets.
Alex Krause with the game-high 7 points, but they have sure spread the wealth. Layla Boylan with 6, a couple rebounds. You're seeing Nora Goodenau, she had 6, had a couple rebound putbacks. And it's been all Aquinas here in the first half. Sydney Blaine across the timeline for the Storm. Williams out top. Avery Young calling for it in the paint. And another turnover. Saints with numbers. Nice pass and a nice finish by Kate Friel.
Friel fills the lane and finishes.
Dugo trap, and the defensive work continues.
Their hands are so active. They move their feet, their hands are active. I can't tell you how many deflected balls already, and then they go get the loose ball. So all that defensive work's paying off with some points on the other end.
Aquinas rocking the retro jerseys here tonight. Notice it's a St. Joe's Streaks. It's always fun going back to the retro jerseys.
Absolutely. If you play like that, I'd want to wear them every week. Well, there's a reason why they're undefeated, and they're the #1 team in 5A, and Coach Hetzel's built a great program, and they build on that. And all he talked about is we still got to get better. I mean, there's going to be some really tough teams down the road. They're playing in the EKL, and it's still early.
Right wing is Kraus. Sabres dumps it back out. Real thought about the three.
Being real patient here. Clock's winding down.
5 to shoot.
Set play with the screen.
Kraus heaves from deep and hits it. I thought there was a foul call down on the floor. Oh, we were going to have a chance at a 4-point play.
I thought there was a whistle there, but excellent play at the shot clock.
Aquinas 2 for 2 from deep here in the first half. And another turnover there on the far side by Boylan. And the defense. Double teams, traps, steals left and right. Rick Hetzel has put quite the program together here at Aquinas in his 28th season. Kraus now in double figures with 10 points, a game high. How about an offensive rebound from Kraus, but then Blaine picks up her third steal and will look to go coast to coast. Nice job drawing contact inside, and will head to the line to shoot 2.
She's got to really go toward that basket and go in strong. She knew that the defense was coming down. She's got to get a good angle and use that backboard. They really need to get her going right here. She needs to hit some free throws and really get involved in the game here.
3 steals in the first half for Sydney Blaine. First free throw is good. Francis Groves will check back in for the Storm. Avery Young will take a seat. No Emma Kramer here tonight in concussion protocol after last night. One of the starters for the Storm. We're off to a 7-3 start this season.
And that hurts your team when you have a starter out, starter with some size, especially playing against a team like Aquinas.
How about that finish inside by Sabres? Now with 6 and a perfect 3 for 3 from the field.
Excellent post up, drop step.
Verdugo inside for Williams. And out of play. Another turnover by the Storm.
Well, even when she gets the ball, she's got 6'2", some lengths right behind her. So you're really going to need some skills, some footwork to get it up on that glass.
1 minute to play here in the first half. Aquinas leading 38-8. Dump down inside for Goodenow, and an easy 2. And 4 for 4 from the field and 8 points to go along with 3 rebounds.
Well, if you're going to stay behind her all day, it's going to be a long night, and they're going to have to work and get either on the front side or the back side and make it tough.
Through the hands of Maya Verdugo. And now the home team, St. Thomas Aquinas, can hold for one final shot to end the half. Ayla Boylan with 6 points brings it across the timeline. Swinging the ball out top.
Shot clock's off, so they're going to take their time. Watch for a seal. They better find Kraus. Here she comes.
Kraus runs baseline. She'll try a three. She's already hit two. Make it three. And the celly right after. What a way to end the half. Alex Kraus with 13 first half points. And what a half for the Saints. We at halftime here on 38 The Spot. The Saints lead 43-8. We'll be right back right after this.
I'm Mike DePasquale, Kansas City's lawyer, the city of champions. KC is a place where values still matter and honesty is a way of life. When you're injured, you want a lawyer who knows this city and a team that knows how to win. If you've been injured, call me. I've got this.
Why do people love You Move Me?
Because we show up on time.
And take good care of their belongings.
Because we're friendly, uniform,
and professional.
I love You Move Me because they're reliable and they make moving effortless.
Love your move with You Move Me.
Dear Winter, we're coming. Our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of our game. Bundle up. Toyota. Toyota has 25 all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles, more than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
At Compass Financial Resources, we help individuals and families looking to take control of their financial.
Wow, I can't believe you really fit it all in one truck.
I told you, our trucks are bigger.
And our prices are better.
Junk King, Kansas City. Bigger trucks, better prices. We treat our customers like royalty.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. If you've been injured in a car wreck, you don't deserve the medical bills or the lost wages, and you don't deserve to be treated like a nobody. You deserve better. Call me. I've got this.
The DM Injury Law Game of the Week on 38 The Spot is brought to you by DM Injury Law. You Move Me. Your Kansas City area Toyota dealers. Compass Financial Resources, Athletic Solutions, and Cruise Elite Basketball Academy.
Welcome back to the DM Injury Law Game of the Week. We're pleased to have joined the president of St. Thomas Aquinas, Brian Shank. Eric, thank you for your time. First of all, tonight's a special night for St. Thomas Aquinas. Tell us a little bit more about your throwback night.
Well, I think it's something to honor our history, and I don't think many people know that we were actually the very first. We have Johnson County Catholic High School. So it goes back to when St. Joe Parish had their high school, and then it became a regional high school of Aquinas High School. And then in 1988, finally, is when they decided to build out here where they knew the growth of the county was going to be at.
Give us a little bit of overview. You got a lot of things going on with your campus physically. Tell us a little bit about your multi-million-dollar campaign you recently completed and what's on the horizon.
Yeah, well, we just completed an $8.5 million campaign, and several factors to it. I mean, it was not just a couple different projects. It was probably about 6. We built a track and field that we've never had on campus before because previously we were using Johnson County Community College's track, and then they got rid of their running program. And so we've been using middle school tracks every now and then, and sometimes we don't get access to that till like 5, 10 in the afternoon. So we were looking for ways to keep our kids on campus, and that was one way to do it. Plus, it gives us a new turf field also to do some practice on. We built a whole new art wing section that connects to our theater, so our fine and performing arts. We have a new theater classroom, a new band classroom. We enhanced the choral classroom, and then we had one 3D art classroom and one 2D art classroom. So we've been doing that. And then we also have a partnership with Rockridge University to do some health classes. We do an intro to nursing class and a health professions class, and we've been able to dedicate a space upstairs for that as well.
Well, it all looks beautiful. Absolutely looks beautiful.
Thank you.
So let's say you've been a teacher, you've been an administrator, you're a past parent, a teacher. Why would somebody want to consider? You've been on all ends of it. Why would somebody want to consider St. Thomas Aquinas High School?
Yeah, thanks for making me feel old right there, because that's just one of those things where it's like I've been here since 1997, so it's been a lot of different things. But I think one of our strengths has been our community, because when we welcome kids in, we accept who they are, and we work with them to make them better and become saints. I mean, it's not just a mascot that we have here. It's really kind of a desire to want to become something greater than yourself, and I really think it's one of those things that draws people to that. And when you surround them with a supportive community that just want to excel at everything they do, kids want to be a part of that.
Yeah, great tradition, great school, St. Thomas Aquinas High School. We want to thank you for spending some time with us here for the DM Law Game of the Week. Thank you on behalf of 5-on-5 Sports and for the Game of the Week. So
thank you guys for being here tonight.
Well, thank you.
In the heart of Overland Park, Kansas, there is a place where faith, excellence, and opportunity come together. At St. Thomas Aquinas High School, education is more than college preparation. It is a formation for life. Since opening its doors in 1988, Aquinas has grown into one of the Kansas's premier Catholic high school, shaping young men and women in faith, character, and excellence. Here, students are challenged by a rigorous college preparatory curriculum. Nearly every graduate goes on to higher education, carrying with them not just knowledge, but confidence in their God-given gifts. As the needs of students evolve, so does Aquinas. In 2024, the campus expanded to include its first on-site track and specialized arts and nursing labs, spaces where passions are discovered and futures begin to take shape. Excellence is woven into the culture. With 135 state championships, Aquinas students learn that discipline, teamwork, and faith go hand in hand. Success here is not measured solely by trophies, but by integrity, humility, and leadership. This is more than a school. It is a community. It is a mission.
Why do people love You Move Me?
Because we show up on time.
And take good care of their belongings.
Because we're friendly, uniform,
and professional.
I love You Move Me because they're reliable and they make moving effortless.
Love your move with You Move Me.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up. Toyota. Toyota. Let's go places.
But I got to look down and read.
Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas. Happy to have you along here on 38 The Spot. Tanner Collins, Rick Zeke. It's halftime. This will be game 2 coming up next. See out on the floor getting some warm-up shots in, but the Saints 43-8 there in the first half.
It's a tough way to start it. They set the tempo early, running up and down the floor, and it was tough for Sion to get back down the floor. Good shots usually means you score points, and it was difficult for Sion to put the ball in the hoop, and it was easy for Aquinas to put the ball in the hoop. So that's where we're at right now, 43-8.
Take a look at some first half highlights. Aquinas was moving the ball, getting it inside, shooting over 75% from the field. We'll start with Verdugo. Nice move there inside.
Yeah, a couple plays down the stretch, you got by her man. There's been good post play. They just got to finish. It's awful tough with that size.
Couple steals. Sydney Blaine, our player to watch here tonight for the Storm, had 3, and there was a nice finish as she went coast to coast.
And again, their defense created that offense there.
Then on the other side for the home team, the Saints, they are moving the ball. We talked about the guard play. How about 3 threes there in the first half from Alex Krause, who had a game-high 13 points.
She's a very talented young lady. Like Coach said, she can really pass it. She's defending Blaine, making it difficult for her. And you get Bolin in the open floor. She can really see the floor. She's a good player, and they all fill their role. I mean, they're 7-0 for a reason.
Yep, sure did show there in the first half. There's our halftime highlights brought to you by Toyota. Second half action is coming up next, right here on 38 The Spot. We'll keep it here. Alex Krause putting up some final shots. 3 for 3 from 3 in the first half.
Stephen F. Austin's going to get a good one. I mean, she can play a little bit of point guard, a little bit of a two guard, maybe a lack of size, but she works hard. And like Coach Hetzel says, you're not going to find a bigger gym rat in Kansas City.
Rick, when you're down by 43-8, the score after the first half, what's Terrell Ford's message in the locker room?
Well, I think as a coach, at least I would try to, is we need to outplay him and outscore him. We're going to play 3 or 4 minutes at a time. We need to beat them 6-4 or 4-2 and just build on some of those things. And knowing that down the road, this is going to make you better. But they certainly did not handle the ball. I'm sure he talked about turnovers. They do average 20 turnovers a game. They got to be able to take care of the ball and make good decisions. They're running their offense. They're just not getting the ball down close to the goal. And if they do, it's the Aquinas size that's bothering them.
Storm back out on the floor.
I like their shoes, though, Tanner. I like
shoes
their shoes.
Look good. Notre Dame de Sion 7-3. St. Thomas Aquinas off to a 7-0 start under head coach Rick Hetzel in his 28th season with St. Thomas Aquinas. The Saints will work right to left here in the second half in the all-white. Notre Dame de Sion left to right in the black and purple trim. Happy to have you along here on 38 The Spot. High school basketball is back on TV here in Kansas City. First possession of the second half here for the Storm.
Again, Aquinas is very active with their feet, and especially their hands. They're getting a lot of deflections.
Nice move and redirection there by Avery Young.
Avery took it right into good now, got her own rebound, put it back up.
Now they'll dump it down for Krause. First three ball off the mark. Now Verdugo looking to run. She had Blaine up the floor. Pass came a little bit late. But she'll try a three,
there.
Right wing, and hit.
She's the one that's got to catch fire. It all rotates around her.
A quick 5-0 run to start here in the second half. Just what Terrell Ford was looking for out of the break. Krause left open up top. Another deflection. Nearly the fourth steal for Sydney Blaine. You see that wingspan. As fast as tons of deflections.
Coach Ford talked about her length and her ability to cover is going to make her a really good prospect at the next level.
Up top as well, starting here in the second half. Mid-range jumper short from Boylan. Verdugo back across the timeline for the Storm. Dump it back out for Williams. Nice drive and a block, but a foul call from behind on Goodenow. Nice take by Reagan Williams, just a freshman.
She's got a lot of potential. It's one of the first times that Aquinas gave up baseline. Forced that shot right into Goodenow.
Reagan Williams getting her first look at the free throw line here tonight, and she banks the first one home.
In for the Saints, Ainsley Cook.
Ainsley Cook will check back in. Layla Boylan will take a seat for the Saints. One more coming from Reagan Williams. 2 for 2 at the line, a 6-0 run to start here in the second half.
Well, that's what they need. Coach Ford's got to be really proud. I can only imagine what he said at halftime in there. Probably motivated him a little bit.
Goodenow working inside. How about that floater with one hand?
Excellent volleyball, basketball player. You can see her footwork. She's got a lot of bounce for a 6'2" girl.
Verdugo drives baseline and stepped out of bounds. First turnover here in the second half for the Storm.
Cook is another perimeter player for the Saints that really like to work hard defensively. She's a true point guard. Coach said she accepts her role really well. She's got the ball down there, always looking to the post.
Krause out top. Over for Sabres. Well, give and go. Layup is short. Williams fights for the rebound and comes away with it. It's deflected out of play, but off of the Saints. A nice defensive possession there.
Aquinas really does a good job of the pick and roll. They're really patient with it. They look for the roll girl. If not, they swing the ball the other way. Ball doesn't really stick. That's a sign of a really good offensive basketball team.
Notre Dame de Sion has outscored the Saints here in the second half, 7-3. It's a good idea there by Sidney Blaine, but is picked off by the Saints. Back up the floor comes Welsh. Inside and fouled, and will get a chance at the strike. They get up the floor so quick.
Their team speed has a lot to do with their success. And when Coach talks about we got to play at our speed, our tempo, I mean, we can see that now.
High arcing free throw is nothing but net.
She shoots over 80% from the free throw line. Coach said she's really hit some big free throws earlier this year against some really top opponents.
2 for 2 at the line for the 5'7" senior Hudson Welsh. Back to a 32-point advantage for Aquinas. Sidney Blaine working right side. Back out top for Verdugo.
Aquinas has really pushed their offense almost out to the three-point line.
Avery Young drives into the lane, and a jump ball is called. And the possession arrow favors the Saints. Layla Boylan quickly back on the floor. Welsh will take a seat. Pretty quick jump ball called there in the lane. Look at that speed and a quick 2.
Very quick move down the lane.
Ainsley
Cook. She's really played well today.
Talked about the depth earlier this week with Etzel, the head coach for the Saints, and it is showing here tonight. Out top is Young. One dribble pull-up off the mark to the right, out of play. Possession to the Saints. Novacek will check back in for the Saints, number 31, 5'8" sophomore.
And Coach Etzel thinks she's really got a good future. She can really shoot the ball. She works hard. She's one of the coach's daughters, so she's been around the game of basketball for quite a long period of time.
Back out top for Goodenow, driving in on Blaine. Cook nearly gets it taken away. 12 to shoot for the Saints. They'll swing it over. 3 left wing, it's too strong, and Sidney Blaine rips down the rebound. Blaine will try a 3, and she's rejected, but gets it right back. The block from Boylan. Saints looking to push. Novacek inside and one.
Good pass ahead and good finish by Novacek. On the last possession, Boylan sees the floor. Again, they do a great job running their sideline break with a post coming down to clean it up, but she finished it up off the glass. I think Coach Ford on the last possession really was trying to force Blaine to push the tempo. The worst thing they can probably do is wait and play 5-on-5. If they have the numbers, they're either going to have to move the ball and take advantage of the numbers, or they're going to have to go directly to the basket to make something happen. He wasn't real happy with her waiting for Aquinas to get their defense set.
Coming into tonight's matchup, the Storm have averaged 22 free throws per game, and that was one of the things coming into tonight Ralph Ford was looking for, but haven't got to the strike as much as he would have liked.
Watching his brother John coach a little bit.
5 seconds called on the Storm. Possession back to the Saints. Will dump it all the way up the floor. Nice look. 3 from Novacek. Nearly rattles in. Offensive rebound. And the putback too strong from Cook. It stays with the Saints. Good now. Off the glass. And will head back to the line. Rick Hetzel with a little laugh as well over at the Saints bench.
And so did Nora Goodnow. She kind of smiled too. Maybe it was a move nobody's seen.
How about this finish here?
She keeps her head up. She makes a good save. Takes one dribble and kept her head up. Find the backboard. And they all shake hands.
That's the layup you bring out when you're playing horse.
It's the old Mikan drill. The old Mikan drill. They really share the ball well. There's not very many possessions today that all 5 people didn't touch the ball.
Sydney Blaine way out top near the timeline. Dumps it down for Cook. For Young, that is. Inside for Williams. Backing in on
good
now.
move.
Nice move and a nice finish. Had a nice night for the Storm. Quickly back up the floor. A 2 on the other side by Kate Friel.
Yeah. Well, Coach Ford can't be happy with that. That's just a lot of that's effort. Getting back down the floor and sprinting down the floor. Because that's what Aquinas is doing. They're sprinting, getting their head up, filling the lanes, and they all look for the ball. If you know you're going to get the ball, you'll sprint.
2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Williams not looking for the pass. On the move is Boylan, and she drops in another. Timeout on the floor taken by Terrell Ford and Notre Dame de Sion. Aquinas leading 57-17 with 1:58 to play here in the third quarter.
We thought it was going to be a little bit different when they went on a 6-0 run, Tanner, but I think Coach Hetzel really kind of got their attention a little bit, and the last 3 or 4 possessions have been just perfect example of offensive basketball.
Go ahead and thank our sponsors here tonight. The DM Injury Log Game of the Week is brought to you by Relic Apparel and Graphics, Ready, Set, Hang, Design Mechanical, Weaver Exterminating, Tequila Harry's, Chris O'Connor, Attorney at Law, and BSN Sports. Beautiful look there above Kansas City. Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School, where Aquinas leads 57-17. Tanner Collins alongside Rick Zeke. Terrell Ford taking his second time out here in the third quarter.
Well, he's got to be challenging his young team, and just to make sure they continue to play hard. Layla Boylan, 10 points, 4 assists. The big part of that is her ability to see the floor. She probably could be putting more points up, but her emphasis today has certainly been team play.
Just under 2 to go here in the third. Sydney Blaine bringing it up the floor for the Storm. Kraus way out top to defend. And picked off by Boylan. She read the pass perfectly. 4 straight points for Layla Boylan, now with 12.
Got to put something on your pass, especially against Aquinas.
Williams keeps the possession alive. Over for Young. Avery Young dumps it inside, a nice pass, but Avery Young was fouled.
Good idea. She goes down the middle of the floor, pass it off to her teammate.
Fouls on the Saints, Layla Boylan, her second.
Substitutions checking in for the Saints. Ava Anderson checks in, the freshman, for the first time tonight, alongside Ainsley Cook. Anderson, a 5'8" freshman. In her first minutes here tonight. Here's Williams working inside. Too strong, gets the rebound. And it's fouled underneath.
She's been doing all the dirty work underneath the goal all night long. She really is an excellent young player.
Fouls on the Saints, Kate Friel.
Possession will stay here with the Storm. Baseline out of bounds for Maya Verdugo. All the way out top for Avery Young. Not attempted a three here tonight. Williams drives back in, and a foul called on Kate Friel.
Foul is on the 6'21" Kate Friel. Second.
That'll be free throws for Reagan Williams.
He's got a good-looking shot. Follow through, elbow past the eye. She's really squares up to the goal.
Second one is short. 1 for 2 that time for Reagan Williams. Friel left open out top. Dumps it over for Cook. Nice look inside off the double team and off the glass. Addison Sabers adds another bucket.
When they put Krause in the corner in the pick and roll, that weak side help has to stay in the paint, but now you're leaving a three-point shooter open, so that's really tough to cover.
10 seconds separates the game from shot clock. Avery Young throws up a prayer and it goes in.
One shot for Aquinas. Coach is calling the set play.
Shot clock turned off. Your Sabers out top. Over for Krause. Nice look here near side. Free is off the mark. And Blaine unable to get one last look in the third quarter. 61-20. A 41-point advantage in favor of Aquinas. Fourth quarter action is coming up next, right after this.
At Compass Financial Resources, we help individuals and families looking to take control of their financial future, to find clarity and confidence in the decisions that matter most. We are grateful for the clients who put their trust in us and excited to meet those who will have the privilege to help next. From all of us at Compass Financial Resources, we wish all of you a wonderful 2026.
Founded with a vision to bridge the gap between innovation and athletic performance, Athletic Solutions delivers cutting-edge gear and experiences that empower athletes and inspire fans. From championship moments to hometown pride, we connect communities to the teams and players they love. Shop elevated products, support your local heroes, and discover why Athletic Solutions is the ultimate game changer for fans, athletes, and brands alike.
Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School, fourth quarter about to get underway. Aquinas leads 61-20. Tanner Collins alongside Rick Zeke. What have you liked best out of the Saints here tonight?
Well, I think it's total team basketball, offensively, defensively. Right now, they have to be looking at maybe just trying to get better. They play Wichita East, one of the top teams in the state of Kansas, tomorrow night. And I know Coach was looking forward for that's going to be a major challenge for him. But after seeing them play tonight, you know, you're going to really need to be a big, strong, but fast team to contend with St. Thomas Aquinas. They can do a lot of things.
Saw the graphic up there on the top right of your screen. Here on 38th spot, we have quite the matchup to follow, so stay around. Fourth quarter underway. Saints with their first possession here in the final frame. They'll get it inside for Sabers. The three is too strong. Sabers fights for the rebound, but it goes all the way over to Williams. Sydney Blaine back across the timeline ahead to Maya Verdugo. Now Blaine will set up the offense. Blaine had 3 steals in the first half. Avery Young triple teamed inside, and Williams is fouled and will head back to the line to shoot 2 more.
Really good perimeter passing there.
A very bright future for Reagan Williams, just a freshman for head coach Terrell Ford.
She averages just under 10 points a game, 5 rebounds. But again, I think Coach was talking about she really need to take care of the ball. And for the most part, she took care of the ball today. It was just some of their guard play that they really need to work on taking care of that basketball.
Reagan Novacek checks back in for the Saints. Williams goes 1 for 2 at the line. Happy to have you along here on 38 The Spot here tonight. Our DM injury log game of the week.
First time we saw their half-court trap.
And a takeaway, a nice steal by Avery Young. But it'll stay here with the Saints. A jump ball was called.
Saints ball.
Back to man-to-man defense.
15 to shoot for the Saints. Frio looking back out top, and Blame chases it down. Look at that speed. Spins into the lane and nearly gets it to go, and will head back to the line for 2.
You saw her athleticism there. She chased the ball down, picked it up, switch hands, went in strong to the bucket. She deserves her 2 free throws here.
High-level athlete is Sydney Blame. She was our player to watch here tonight.
When you have Layla Boland and Boylan and Sydney Blaine on the court, you got 2 high-level juniors that are both going to be well recruited Division I.
Blaine good on the first. And knocks in a pair at the line. Nearing the midway point here in the 4th quarter. Numbers for the Saints if they want it. And a kick ball called on Avery Young underneath. It'll stay with the Saints. Fresh 25 back on the shot clock. Now a line change for Notre Dame de Sion. All starters will exit.
With the running clock, Coach is really going to want to get him some playing time a little bit.
Nice look inside, an easy deuce for Kate Friel. 4 minutes to play here in the 4th.
They're going to take their time and be patient.
And a steal by Kate Friel. The defense continues for the Saints. Shot is short. Offensive rebound brought down by Ainsley Cook. Back out top for Novacek. 3 from out top, just missed. Nice rebound underneath by the Storm. Up top for Corey. Over to Perry. Perry will try a 3 and it just missed short. And the rebound brought down by Novacek.
Perry squared up, got it off the offense. Shot clock was running down.
One thing Terrell Ford talked about earlier this week was playing with the shot clock. He likes that style of game and prepares these girls for potentially playing at the collegiate level.
Yeah. And it makes you more aggressive, especially when the shot clock goes down. You better learn how to get to the hole and kick it out a little bit. Offensive basketball, a lot of it has to do with you penetrating the middle of the floor, and you just don't get a lot of that against Aquinas. When you penetrate down the middle, you could kick it every single direction and then play off of that. And it's awful tough against a really good, quick team like Aquinas with that size down underneath.
Foul called underneath. That was Corey there for the Storm. The clock winds down here in the fourth. What a night for Aquinas. And head coach Rick Hetzel nearing an 8-0 start to the season. A jumper off the mark, out of play, possession to the Saints.
Well, I'm sure Coach Ford just when he needs a build on this. It's just one of those nights that you saw a team that was a little bit superior in talent, and you'll be judging the rest of the teams all year compared to St. Thomas Aquinas now.
Foul called underneath. Ava Anderson will get a chance for her first points here tonight, 5'8" freshman. Checked in back in the third quarter. How about a buzzer beater free throw?
There you go.
Next couple more dribbles.
Timing it out well. She's timing it out well. Excellent form.
First free throw is good. First point tonight for the freshman Ava Anderson.
Well, both teams are getting back into the grind. You got practice, you got school. I always called it the second season. The first season was before Christmas. The second season started right after. And then your third season is postseason. So this is the time that you kind of grind your practices. You got game after game, practice and game, school. And hopefully you work hard and get better.
One final possession here for the Storm. The defense stays the same for the Saints, and they draw another turnover. And that'll wrap things up here tonight. Aquinas wins at 65-23 here tonight. And the Saints move to 8-0 on the season under head coach Rick Hetzel. Terrell Ford and his group, Notre Dame de Sion, fall to 7-4. We'll take a break and be right back to feature our player of the game. But the final here tonight, 65-23, Aquinas 8-0 on the season.
In the heart of Overland Park, Kansas, there is a place where faith, excellence, and opportunity come together. At St. Thomas Aquinas High School, education is more than college preparation. It is a formation for life. Since opening its doors in 1988, Aquinas has grown into one of the Kansas's premier Catholic high school, shaping young men and women in faith, character, and excellence. Here, students are challenged by a rigorous college preparatory curriculum. Nearly every graduate goes on to higher education, carrying with them not just knowledge, but confidence in their God-given gifts. As the needs of students evolve, so does Aquinas. In 2024, the campus expanded to include its first on-site track and specialized arts and nursing labs, spaces where passions are discovered and futures begin to take shape. Excellence is woven into the culture. With 135 state championships, Aquinas students learn that discipline, teamwork, and faith go hand in hand. Success here is not measured solely by trophies, but by integrity, humility, and leadership. This is more than a school. It is a community. It is a mission.
I'm Mike DePasquale, Kansas City's lawyer, the City of Champions. KC is a place where values still matter and honesty is a way of life. When you're injured, you want a lawyer who knows this city and a team that knows how to win. If you've been injured, call me. I've got this.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up. Toyota. Let's go places.
Founded with a vision to bridge the gap between innovation.
Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School. First game just finished where St. Thomas took it 65-23 and moved to 8-0 on the season. Let's take a look at our player of the game. The player of the game here tonight is sponsored by Cruz Elite Basketball Academy, and it was number 11, Layla Boylan.
Well, Layla can do. She really dominated the game on the defensive end early, which led to a lot of easy points. She shared the ball, hit some shots. Their post players absolutely got the ball where they wanted it, but a lot had to do with their defensive intensity.
filled up the stat sheet. 12 points, 4 assists, 3 steals. Our player of the game tonight, once again, player of the game is sponsored by Cruz Elite Basketball Academy. What a night here for Aquinas and Rick Hetzel in his 28th season. Home team is off to a perfect 8-0 start. Game 2 on the night is next, and it is coming up here just over 16 minutes. Thanks for watching here tonight on 38 The Spot. Home team Aquinas takes it for Rick Zink. My name is Tanner Collins, signing off here from Game 1. Game 2 is coming up right here on 38 The Spot.
In the heart of Overland Park, Kansas, there is a place where faith, excellence, and opportunity come together. At St. Thomas Aquinas High School, education is more than college preparation. It is a formation for life. Since opening its doors in 1988, Aquinas has grown into one of the Kansas's premier Catholic high school, shaping young men and women in faith, character, and excellence. Here, students are challenged by a rigorous college preparatory curriculum. Nearly every graduate goes on to higher education, carrying with them not just knowledge, but confidence in their God-given gifts. As the needs of students evolve, so does Aquinas. In 2024, the campus expanded to include its first on-site track and specialized arts and nursing labs, spaces where passions are discovered and futures begin to take shape. Excellence is woven into the culture. With 135 state championships, Aquinas students learn that discipline, teamwork, and faith go hand in hand. Success here is not measured solely by trophies, but by integrity, humility, and leadership. This is more than a school. It is a community. It is a mission.
I'm Mike DePasquale, Kansas City's lawyer, the City of Champions. KC is a place where values still matter and honesty is a way of life. When you're injured, you want a lawyer who knows this city and a team that knows how to win. If you've been injured, call me. I've got this.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up. Toyota. Let's go places.
So, you want to be the best? The best commit to showing up before.
Welcome back to the DM Law Game of the Week. We are pleased to join by the owner of Junk King of Kansas City, Jamie Kostelak. Jamie and I go way back. Jamie played basketball for me at Bishop Miege High School. He won a state championship in both basketball and football. What do you think those experiences that we all share together help you to run Junk King to be one of the top businesses in Kansas City?
I would say preparation and training development. So with our company, it's not just hiring people to come pick up trash. We're really setting people up for a career. So as people come in, we have a career path to help get them to the next level. So kind of like what we did at Miege, we want to really build people up and show them the path to get there. So that's how we do it at Junk King.
Great. What sets Junk King so different than some of your competition?
Definitely the fact that we've got 20% larger trucks. So what that means is if you've got a project you want to get a garage cleared out, we can fit more in on one single truck. So that way you're saving money. We're getting projects done for you quicker. All in all, just a better overall experience.
So if you're a new user of Junk King, never used you before, what should they expect when they book your service?
So as soon as you call 1-888-8888-JUNK, what's going to happen is you're going to talk to a friendly rep. You can book an appointment. We can be there within an hour of you booking, even on Sunday afternoon. So if you want to have a project done quickly, we'll come out there for you. You get 2 friendly uniformed employees coming out there, and we're going to get your junk hauled off for you.
Well, we all know you do a great job, but what's next for Junk King here in Kansas City?
Yeah, so this is our flagship market. We've got 5 other locations across the country, and what we do is we we really train and develop people to go run locations outside of Kansas City for us. So the Kansas City market's going to continue to grow for us. We're going to add another brand as well, but we're going to help grow leaders so they can go run other locations for us.
Well, I'm certainly proud of you. Former player, excellent athlete here at Bishop Miege High School. We see him on TV all the time. We want to thank you for support. We appreciate your support. 5-on-5, Sports Media, Channel 38, DM Law, Injury, Game of the Week. So we expect good things out of you, and we know we'll get it. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back.
Gap between innovation and athletic performance, Athletic Solutions delivers cutting-edge gear and experiences that empower athletes and inspire fans. From championship moments to home.
At Compass Financial Resources, we help individuals and families looking to take control of their financial future, to find clarity and confidence in the decisions that matter most. We are grateful for the clients who put their trust in us and excited to meet those we'll have the privilege to help next. From all of us at Compass Financial Resources, we wish all of you a wonderful 2026.
I'm Mike DePasquale, Kansas City's lawyer, the City of Champions. Living here, you learn what makes a community strong, what holds people together, and how to do what's right for friends, family, and neighbors. Kansas City is a place where values still matter and honesty is a way of life. It's where you can reach out to someone you trust if you need help. When you're injured, you want a lawyer who knows this city and a team that knows how to win. If you've been injured, call me. I've got this.
A large bank that stays tied to the community it serves? That's bold. For over 90 years, Security Bank has served the greater Kansas City area. That's longer than most of the barbecue joints around. What's our secret sauce? It's our commitment to local lending and local decisions, championing what makes Kansas City great. Because Kansas City is full of champions. Speaking of which, we've been recognized as the strongest large bank in KC. Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local.
Dear Winter, we're coming. Our squad of vehicles, with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of our game. Bundle up. Toyota. Toyota has 25 all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles, more than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back to the DM Injury Game of the Week. We're pleased to have a great representation for Shields. Luke Sabers, the assistant store leader for Shields in Overland Park. We want to thank Shields, like a lot of other organizations, for the support, 5-on-5 Media, and all our other sponsors for your great involvement in Southern Johnson County. Why is your involvement with schools and other organizations so important at Shields?
Well, it's so big for us to be a community partner. So much of what we do is obviously based on people coming into our store and be able to give back and be a part of what you guys are doing, because it's super cool for these kids to be out and playing in the Kansas City Metro on live TV on a Friday night. So for us at Shields, it's a no-brainer to be involved in something like this.
Well, you're a father of a girl, a very good basketball player, and one of the leaders on the St. Thomas Aquinas boys team. As a father, what do you think the players think about a televised game here in Kansas City?
You know, it's funny now in the social media component and stuff that, you know, they're exposed to different things, but when they hear live TV in Kansas City where their friends can sit at home and watch it, it's a pretty big deal. And to hear a little bit of the buzz and to hear them talking about it like in the group chats and different things, it's just really cool to see. And once again, just an awesome opportunity for them, their teammates, and all these schools throughout the Metro.
Yeah, we just think it's great for the school and the community when we put them on TV. What separates you, Shields, from your competition? We see the name all over. We know what they represent. But what do you personally think, being in that store every day?
Yeah.
What separates you from the other sporting goods stores?
Yeah, we're super fortunate being an employee-owned company. It's just the people that we have in the building. You know, I've been with the company 20 years, and, you know, every day is just an awesome opportunity to work with so many great people that truly care And you can get any product that we have a lot of different places, but our people are pretty special, and it's a real opportunity for me to get to work with those great people every day.
Well, we just want to thank you for your support on behalf of 5-on-5 Sports, the DM Injury Law Game of the Week, all the other sponsors. We want to thank you for your support and keep up the great work here in Kansas City.
Well, we sure appreciate you doing it, and it was fun talking to you this week about all those days with you on the bench, and hopefully we'll have a good game here in the second one.
Well, it's going to be a really good game, so we're going to be right back.
Remember to practice good.
At Compass Financial Resources, we help individuals and families looking to take control of their financial future, to find clarity and confidence in the decisions that matter most. We are grateful for the clients who put their trust in us and excited to meet those who will have the privilege to help next. From all of us at Compass Financial Resources, we wish all of you a wonderful 2026.
A large bank that stays tied to the community it serves? That's bold. For over 90 years, Security Bank has served the greater Kansas City area. That's longer than most of the barbecue joints around. What's our secret sauce? It's our commitment to local lending and local decisions, championing what makes Kansas City great. Because Kansas City is full of champions. Speaking of which, we've been recognized as the strongest large bank in KC. Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local.
So, you want to be the best? The best commit to showing up before dawn, perfecting form, pushing limits, even when no one's watching. To be the best, you show up always. Every swing, every drill.
At Compass Financial Resources, we help individuals and families looking to take control of their financial future, to find clarity and confidence in the decisions that matter most. We are grateful for the clients who put their trust in us and excited to meet those who will have the privilege to help next. From all of us at Compass Financial Resources, we wish all of you a wonderful 2026.
A large bank that stays tied to the community it serves? That's bold. For over 90 years, Security Bank has served the greater Kansas City area. That's longer than most of the barbecue joints around. What's our secret sauce? It's our commitment to local lending and local decisions, championing what makes Kansas City great. Because Kansas City is full of champions. Speaking of which, we've been recognized as the strongest large bank in KC. Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local.
So, you want to be the best?
Welcome to the DM Injury Law Game of the Week presented by You Move Me. Tonight's matchup features Pembroke Hill off to a 5-8 start. St. Thomas Aquinas, the home team here tonight, sit at 2-5. Happy to have you along here on 38th The Spot. Tanner Collins alongside Rick Zeke. Rick, high school hoops is back on TV here in Kansas City. It's pretty exciting.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great time of the year to get it going. We got another border war here. We have two teams that really need a win. Both of them kind of mirror images. Sickness, injuries, tough schedule early. They both need a win today.
Let's take a look at our players to watch, brought to you by DM Injury Law. We'll start with Pembroke Hill, and it's no other than Mav Hawkins.
Well, if the name sounds familiar, that's Coach Jeff Hawkins' son, Maverick. Mav's been a 4-year starter for his dad. He's a signee for Vanderbilt. He's an offensive machine. He leads the team in scoring, well over 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Aquinas must find him in transition.
On the other side for the home team, St. Thomas Aquinas, player to watch is number 23, Nick Sabers.
Well, like Coach Coopersmith said, Nick Sabers has probably been the most consistent of all the Saints. He averages over 7 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. The ball's going to be in his hand a little bit more than usual because of the matchup situations, but he just does about everything for him, and he's a true leader for the Saints.
Players to watch brought to you by DM Injury Law. We'll take a break. Tip-off is next. It's Pembroke on the road to take on St. Thomas Aquinas.
I'm Mike DePasquale, Kansas City's lawyer, the city of champions. Living here, you learn what makes a community strong, what holds people together, and how to do what's right for friends, family, and neighbors. Kansas City is a place where values still matter and honesty is a way of life. It's where you can reach out to someone you trust if you need help. When you're injured, you want a lawyer who knows this city and a team that knows how to win. If you've been injured, call me. I've got this.
Why do people love You Move Me?
Because we show up on time.
And take good care of their belongings.
Because we're friendly, uniform,
and professional.
I love You Move Me because they're reliable and they make moving effortless.
Love your move with You Move Me.
Dear Winter, we're coming. Our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of our game. Bundle up. Toyota. Toyota has 25 all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles, more than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Wow, I can't believe you really fit it all in one truck.
I told you, our trucks are bigger.
And our prices are better.
Junkie Kansas City. Bigger trucks, better prices. We treat our customers like royalty.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. If you've been injured in a car wreck, you don't deserve the medical bills or the lost wages, and you don't deserve to be treated like a nobody. You deserve better. Call me. I've got this.
Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School. Tip-off is coming up next. Let's take a look at our keys to the game, sponsored by You Move Me. Rick, we'll start with Pembroke Hill.
Well, from talking to Coach Hawkins, it's pretty obvious they must handle the basketball, value every possession. Rebound is going to be a key. When they rebound, they can get out and transition. And what Coach Hawkins said, we play well, but we can't finish games. They must complete a full game.
And then for the home team, Rick, St. Thomas Aquinas, they got a couple of keys too.
Yeah, they're going to have to contain Hawkins. I'm sure they're going to play numerous defenses and numerous players on him. They got to find Sprout in transition because he can shoot it. But one of the things that Coach Cooper Smith said, they have to finally play physical in the paint. They can't play soft. They got to turn the tide and start a new part of their season. And the bottom line is they got to hit shots.
Thomas Aquinas at 2-5 to start the season. Pembroke Hill 5-8. Pre-game high video is playing here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School.
The stories, the struggles, the victories are our story. Are their legs.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Our lineup tonight are sponsored by DM Injury Law. Rick, we'll start with the home team, St. Thomas. Ben Rinty, Avin Brown, Sabers, and Gillette. Starting lineup tonight for the Saints.
The coaches are a great matchup of two really good young coaches. You have Jeff Hawkins at Pembroke High School. Jeff is creating a really good program at Pembroke. He was a shot away from making the Final Four. He's really excited about this group. They can shoot the ball. They're fun to watch. They average 70 points a game. On the other side, you have Coach Cooper Smith, Jake Cooper Smith of St. Thomas Aquinas. His 8th year here. He's a former player, an alumni. He's got to look at those jerseys and know all the alumni in the crowd. They really need to play well. They have a gauntlet of a schedule coming, so every game becomes the utmost importance for his program.
Starting lineup for Pembroke, Sprott, Hawkins, Lee, and Hawkins. Jeff Hawkins, your head coach for Pembroke Hill, played college ball for the Kansas Jayhawks. His son, Mav Hawkins, player to watch here tonight for Pembroke Hill. And for the home team, St. Thomas Aquinas, they're led by Jake Cuppersmith. And off to a 2-5 start are the Saints. Pembroke Hill sits at 5-8. Get a chance to talk with both coaches earlier this week. Had two great conversations, and it's going to be a fun one. Happy to have you along here tonight on 38th The Spot. Tip-off goes out of play, and the possession favors the Saints. Tanner Collins alongside Rick Zeke here tonight. Happy to have you along.
Tanner, I think it's going to be an exciting game. You have both teams can score the basketball, and both teams struggle at the free throw line. Both coaches talked about we have to hit our free throws.
Sapers drives in, gets the putback, and knocks it off the glass. And that opens the scoring here in the first quarter.
That's one of the reasons why Coach Cooper-Smith's been letting him handle the ball. He can really use his physical strength down on the block as a point guard. He gets their offense set, and he's really tough in the paint.
Sprott looking for the backdoor cut from Hawkins. It wasn't there. And in a first possession, first turnover for Pembroke Hill.
Back into the lineup for the Saints has been Renzi, and he's their leading scorer. So when you don't have your leading scorer, it's awful tough sometimes to put the ball in the hole.
Near takeaway. Drive in by Saber, and it falls. 6'4" senior off to a nice start. 2 for 2 from the field, and a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play.
That's his game, using his physical strength. Physical strength, foul, go right through. Coach talked about playing tough, playing hard. There's a great example right there.
Sabres first look, the lefty knocks in the free throw. Has scored all 5 points to start off the jump. Back up the floor comes Braden Shelley, sophomore for Pembroke Hill.
Quarterback of their football team, and Coach Hawkins is the quarterback of their team.
Hawkins drives and draws a foul on Ben Renzi. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch tonight. Ben Renzi, 6'2" senior for St. Thomas Aquinas. First look there at Mav Hawkins, averaging north of 20 points per game, committed to Vanderbilt. Top 10 team in the country this season. Shelley airballs the three from the corner. Now the Saints looking to run. Back up the floor comes Brown. Wide open three from the top of the key from Gavin. Too strong. Shelley with the rebound. Quickly back up the floor to Sprott. He'll try a three, and nothing but nylon.
That's how they play. They get a lot of their threes out of transition when they have the advantage offensively in the numbers.
Fast pace here early on. Right wing is Gavin. Working on Shelley. Shelley nearly gets his second takeaway and then picks up the foul. But you got to love the aggressive defensive work there from Braden Shelley.
Both teams are really going to try to put up the pressure, knowing that both teams turn the ball over a lot and try to get their easier points that way.
Pull Brown over to inbound, 6'4" sophomore. Here's Sabres already with 5 points for the Saints. With the left hand, layup doesn't go that time. The fight for the rebound. Sabres drives in again. And finishes 7 straight points for the senior Nick Sabres.
He's really setting the tone for his basketball team, the way he's scoring in the paint.
Back across the timeline comes Braden Shelley, sets up the offense for Pembroke Hill. Like Rick said, also the starting quarterback for Pembroke. Inslee driving in, good defense by Gillette. Nearly gets it taken away. Fight for the possession. Hawkins back up the floor with 4 to shoot. He's gonna have to put one up. From NBA range, off balance, it's short.
It's a good example of not knowing how to play with the shot clock there.
Ben Renzi ultimately comes away with the rebound. Back come the Saints. It's been all Sabres early on, and there's a takeaway. Here's Hawkins to the rim, off the glass, and it rattles home. He was looking for the foul. Didn't get it, but what a finish.
Yeah, he can finish at the rim. He'll play above the rim. You get him in the open floor, it's going to be awful tough to stop.
Nearly a travel out top by Gavin as the Saints set up the offense. Renzi gets it, knocks it out of play off the right foot. Another turnover, possession back to Pembroke Hill.
Well, Coach Hawkins talked about they've been really trying to emphasize defensive intensity. And I asked him, do you get that from Coach Roy Williams or Bill Self? And he said, probably the defensive part of it from Coach Self. He played for both. He was a transition player in between the two coaches.
Shelley called for the travel inside, off balance. Another turnover for Pembroke Hill. Matt Hawkins coming off his first bucket here tonight, averaging over 20 points per game as we get a look at the head coach for St. Thomas Aquinas. Off to a 7-5 start here tonight. 2-5 to start the season through 7 games. Here's Sabres out top. Off the glass, too strong. Shelley, another rebound.
A little too strong for Cole Brown.
Quickly back up the floor for Pembroke Hill. Hawkins calling for it out top. Here's Shelley into the paint with the right hand. Good defense by Sabres. It stays with Pembroke. Hawkins calling for it. Now gets his first look, and with one hand, nothing but net from Mav Hawkins.
Yeah, you can't let him get to the middle of the floor. He's really going to hurt you all night. And with their shooters, he's going to be able to pitch it out. They're going to find Sprout Shelley and make it a long night.
Hawkins caught in the air, wide open, 3. No good. Shelley can't rip down the rebound, and it's brought away by Gavin. And then a steal from Pembroke from Inslee.
Inslee does all the dirty work.
A 3 from Sprott is off the mark. Sabres with the rebound. And a foul called on the far side of the floor on John Schroeder.
Schroeder and Inslee, coach emphasized that. They do all the little things, the charges, the rebounds, to keep the ball in play.
Koloff, Burnoff, and Whalen will check in for St. Thomas Aquinas. Bobby Nonamaker will check in for Pembroke Hill as well, senior.
With Jacob McCauley and the freshman, the 6'8" freshman, everybody's really excited about. He's going to be an excellent player. He really knows how to play the game.
Here's Sabres. Thought about driving, steps back, tries a 3, and it's too strong, and the rebound brought down by Sprott. Up the floor comes Nonamaker, just off the bench for Pembroke Hill. Nice dump inside. Nonamaker brings down the offensive rebound. A second chance here for Pembroke Hill. Now Hawkins with it out top. Gets through 2 defenders and the two-handed flush. And the crowd is on their feet on the Pembroke Hill side.
You're not going to see too many people in Kansas City make that move. And that's a Division I move. They tried.
30-second timeout.
How about Mav Hawkins?
Splitting the defense, then elevates. The fact that they have three-point shooters in the corners really makes it difficult to stop him. Coach Hawkins knows that, so their idea, they're going to spread that defense out and give him some routes or some avenues to head to the basket.
6 early points for Mav Hawkins, averaging over 20 points per game through the first 13 games to start the 2025-26 season.
He's really been lighting it up. He had 35 points Tuesday against Blue Valley, who's one of the best teams in the city. So Coach Hawkins said his son Mav has really been filling it up.
All the offense so far for St. Thomas Aquinas has come from 6'4" senior Nick Sabres. He scored all 7 points so far for the home team. Pembroke Hill with their first lead, up 9-7. Sabres drives, kicks it back out. 3 from the top of the key, rattles out. Another fight for the rebound is won by Sabres off the glass, and he's got 9.
Well, he's taken upon himself to show a little toughness, that's for sure.
9 apiece, 2 to play here in the opening frame. Sprott out top, dumps it back to Hawkins. He'll try from way downtown, and that one misses short. Hawkins 0 for 2 from long range here so far tonight. Sabres working right wing. Shelley defending. First look at the freshman McCullough out top, 6'7". That one gets stripped away, 15 to shoot.
Clock running.
Under 10. Saints are going to have to force one up, but it's taken away by Sprott. Another steal defensively by Pembroke Hill. Nonamaker will set up the offense, working on the freshman. He's going to take it all the way with the left hand. A nice finish inside.
Over the 6'8" McCullough. Good move. Nonamaker, he averages 6 rebounds, 6 points a game. The coach said he's really getting better.
Brown back in for the Saints. Here's Sabres baseline. Working on Inslee. Nice dish across the floor and an air ball. Hawkins chases down the rebound. Pembroke Hill with numbers. Hawkins going to take it all by himself over 2 defenders, making it look easy.
Yeah, well, he's a really good offensive player, and you can't let him penetrate and go directly to the goal.
Largest lead for Pembroke Hill here in the first. The Saints can hold for one final shot. Sabres thought about the 3. Gets past Hawkins. Euro step blocked by Inslee. Head coach Jeff Hawkins not happy with the foul. Nick Sabres will head to the line to shoot 2.
Looked like a little body contact after a shot. Both teams are really playing hard. Both teams are really getting after it.
For 23, Nick Sabres at the line. Scored all 9 points for the Saints so far tonight. Go along with 4 rebounds. First free throw off the mark.
In for the Saints, Barron.
Gavin back in for the Saints. The final 10 seconds and change. 1 free throw upcoming for Sabres. 0 for 2 at the line from Sabres. One final look here for Pembroke Hill. Here's Hawkins out top.
They ran a trap at him.
Inslee will try a 3. To 9, and it was all Mav Hawkins who led the way with 8 points. Second quarter is coming up next here on 38th Spot. Here's the 2-handed flush from Hawkins.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. If you've been injured in a car wreck, you don't deserve the medical bills, you don't deserve the lost wages, and you don't deserve to be treated like a nobody. You deserve better. You deserve someone in your corner. At my firm, all we do is injury law. We've recovered over $1 billion for people just like you. We're here to make sure you get what you deserve. If you've been hurt, call me. I've got this.
Why do people love You Move Me?
Because we show up on time.
And take good care of their belongings.
Because we're friendly, uniform,
and professional.
I love You Move Me because they're reliable and they make moving effortless.
Love your move with You Move Me.
The DM Injury Law Game of the Week on 38th The Spot is brought to you by DM Injury Law. You Move Me. Your Kansas City area Toyota dealers. Compass Financial Resources. Athletic Solutions. And Cruise Elite Basketball Academy. Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School, where Pembroke Hill is off to a 13-9 lead, and it was all Mav Hawkins in the opening frame. 8 points, 4 rebounds, Rick.
Well, you can see why they average 70 points a game. They can really get up and down the floor. They got multiple shooters. Aquinas is really rotating who's all playing on Hawkins. They got to get out there.
Hawkins unable to hit. 0 for 3 from deep. Trying to get the steal on the other end. There's the freshman underneath with his first points. Jacob McCullough.
Jacob's going to be a really good player. He's their future. If the name sounds familiar, that's the McCullough name. St. Thomas, St. James. His dad was a great player, Dr. Kurt. He's got uncles that were great players.
Al Sprott hits a three, his first. Largest lead for Pembroke Hill, up 5.
The freshman was wanting the ball down there.
He's been calling for it. Here's Renzi. Looking to get it inside to Gavin. Back out top for Renzi, the senior, 6'2". 7 to shoot for the Saints. Renzi dancing, crosses up Hawkins, and can't finish.
Good block by Nonamaker.
Pembroke Hill with numbers. Nonamaker on the move. Back out for Shelley. His three is too strong. And the rebound chased down by Bertle. Back up the floor comes Gavin. And a foul called on Bobby Nonamaker. He'll stay here with the Saints.
Shelley can shoot it. He missed that one down there. He's had one game with 4. Sprout has a game with 6. So not just Hawkins on the offensive end shooting it from behind the line.
Fresh 35 on the shot clock. Sabres had 9 first quarter points, a game high. Hawkins with 8. Now Sabres directing traffic out top. Inslee defending.
Oh, good back cut. Good block.
Second consecutive block for Nonamaker. Shelley pushing the pace. Over for Sprott, wide open. He made it, but an offensive foul called underneath. A nice defensive play by Jimmy Gillette.
The fouls on the Raiders, number 4.
No basket.
Shelley is second. No shot.
Basket waved off after Gillette took the charge underneath.
He leads her team in charges.
Ron Schroeder getting set to check back in for Pembroke Hill.
Oh.
Costly turnover out top, trying to dump it down for Gavin underneath. 6'6" senior.
Really good idea with a great spacing. They just needed the proper pass. Not at a good angle.
Shelley will take a seat. The senior John Schroeder back out on the floor. For Shelley, the sophomore, needing a quick water break for Pembroke Hill. Matt Hawkins dancing out top. Gonna do it all by himself. A little pull-up J. Nice and smooth, and he's got 10 points already in double figures.
Again, it's gonna be a long night if he can attack that middle.
A nice move on the other side. Ben Renzi enters the scoring column.
Really good back cut from the corner.
A lot of dribbling from Nonamaker. Over for Sprott. The lefty Nonamaker will try a three. It's off to the right. Schroeder chases down the rebound.
Really good hustle.
Sprott will try another three. Quick pull-up. How about the hustle from John Schroeder?
Oh, my.
Second offensive rebound in the possession, and Pembroke Hill will have their third opportunity here.
Coach Cooper Smith is not happy with the effort going after the basketball. That's the last phase of your defense. You can put a hand in the guy's face, play well, move your feet. You got to get that rebound.
Fresh 35 on the shot clock for Pembroke Hill. Hawkins working out top on Renzi. Nowhere to go. Careless turnover there by Hawkins.
He left his feet and looked for that corner pass. Stats coaching him along over on the side. Jeff was a great player out of Kansas City, Kansas, Sumner High School. Went on and played for the Jayhawks.
Nice steal by John Schroeder. Nonamaker up the floor in a hurry. Out of control. Fight for possession. And the possession arrow favors the Saints.
Jump ball. In for the Saints.
Well, out of control there into the lane by Bobby Nonamaker.
Saints ball.
Pembroke Hill leading 5-5, nearing the midway point here in the second quarter. Tanner Collins alongside Rick Zeke. DM injury log game of the week. Happy to have you along here on 38 The Spot. Here's Renzi out top working on Inslee. Dump it down for Sabres. Still looking for his first points here in the second quarter. And another takeaway by Pembroke Hill. and right back. Brown says, I'll take that right back, and I'll put it in for 2.
Well, he didn't give up on the play. He turned his back, got a deflection, and chased it home. Cole's got a bright future.
Nice shake and bake from Nonamaker, but it's taken away by Gillette. Up the floor, here comes the Saints, and it's swatted away by Hawkins, and they're going to call goaltending. I don't know if I love the call, but how about the hustle from Mav Hawkins?
We're going to have to look and see if it hit the glass first. It certainly didn't look like it. Now, that's a good block. That's a good block.
The bucket counts for the Saints, which cuts the deficit to 1.
Coach Hawkins' staff not happy.
Sprott working baseline. Nice dump across. Now find inside. Layup no good. Another offensive rebound and put back. John Schroeder has been everywhere for Pembroke Hill.
Schroeder is their glue guy. He's really made some big plays. Keeps possessions alive.
3 from the top of the key is off the mark. Fight for the rebound, and it deflects off Inslee. It'll stay with the Saints. Trailing by 3, 3:17 to go before we hit halftime. What a fun matchup, Rick.
They're going
back and forth. Pembroke, largest lead of 5. Saints hanging around here with just over 3 to go in the half.
And there's a great flow in the game. Both teams trying to push the tempo. You know, like I think Coach Cooper Smith said, we've been there. We just got to make plays, and that's what's boiling down to right now. You know, a pass here, a missed free throw there.
Student sections are up here on both sides for Pembroke and St. Thomas Aquinas. Sabres calling for it. Working near side is Gillette, and another turnover by the Saints.
He was trying to post up Hawkins.
Sprott on the move. Over for good pass through, checks in for Pembroke Hill for the first time here tonight. And a foul called baseline on the Saints.
The Saints got a young player, Everett Whalen, on Hawkins. Coach Cooper Smith really believes he can really be a defensive stopper.
Cooper Smith wanting to get Ben Renzi back in the game. He's over here courtside getting a finger taped up. Hoping to get him back as early as he can. Hawkins working out top for Pembroke Hill, leading by 3. Hawkins looking for it. Thought about the 3. And another foul underneath. Called on Whalen. Hal Sprott drawing the foul, creating the contact.
They're really trying to get physical with Mav Hawkins right now. He's seen about every junk defense. He's seen them all in the 4 years he's been in high school.
Hawkins tries from straight away and 0 for 4 from long range. Hawkins does have a game-high 10 points, but has yet to hit from 3.
Since the first 2 or 3 minutes, seems like a quiet 10.
How about the defensive adjustment? Sabres had 9 points in the first quarter, has yet to score here in the second. At 3 off the mark, Inslee soars in for the rebound. Pembroke Hill with numbers. Good vision from Hawkins. And a turnover by Pembroke Hill. Up the floor come the Saints. Off the glass, too strong. Another offensive rebound from Cole Brown, 6'4" sophomore.
Didn't give up on that play again.
That brings the deficit back to 1. Hawkins double teamed, and he draws a foul.
Tanner, Cole's family is a basketball family. His grandfather, Bob Coolidge, was a high school basketball coach. His father's brother, Bill Coolidge, was a former coach of Pembroke Hill. So especially in Wyandotte County, the name Coolidge is synonymous with basketball. He's got a great line of lineage of basketball, and he's going to be a really good player.
Hawkins across the timeline for Pembroke Hill. Minute 27 to go here to end the half. Tough pass inside. It's picked off by Sabres. On the floor again is Cole Brown. That was John Schroeder for Pembroke Hill.
Foul on Schroeder.
Schroeder's been on the floor about half the game.
He's a hustler. He'd play on my team any day of the week. He gets after it. And he knows his role. He knows his role.
In for the Raiders, number 2, Bobby.
Mav's got to take better care of the ball. He's been a little bit sloppy.
Aquinas a chance to take back the lead. Just over a minute to go before halftime. Inslee way out defending on Sabres. Looking for his first bucket here in the second quarter. Freshman working out top. Bertholdt, right wing, in for Sabres.
He likes the ball inside.
The lefty, too strong. Offensive rebound, putback doesn't go. A third opportunity now for the Saints. A 3 from out top. Gavin can't hit. Hawkins with the board. Back up the floor comes Pembroke Hill.
They had their chances there.
Sprott left wide open. Itko. His second triple in the half.
You got to find him, and he slid out from transition. They turned their back on him.
Step in 3.
That's what dribble penetration. Great rhythm in his 3.
Good rhythm, good look by Hawkins. Back to a 4-point advantage for Pembroke Hill. Shot clock turned off. Saints can hold for one final shot. How about a step back from the freshman? Off the mark. Would have liked to see the Saints hold for the final possession. Pembroke Hill will get a chance. Hawkins drives into the lane, nobody home, and it's 12 first half points for Mav Hawkins. As we hit halftime here at St. Thomas Aquinas, Pembroke leads 25-19.
6-0 run here, late.
Halftime here on 38 The Spot. Pembroke with a 6-point advantage. Second half is coming up next, right after this.
I'm Mike DePasquale, Kansas City's lawyer, the City of Champions. KC is a place where values still matter and honesty is a way of life. When you're injured, you want a lawyer who knows this city and a team that knows how to win. If you've been injured, call me. I've got this.
Why do people love You Move Me?
Because we show up on time.
And take good care of their belongings.
Because we're friendly, uniform,
and professional.
I love You Move Me because they're reliable and they make moving effortless.
Love your move with You Move Me.
So, you want to be the best? The best commit to showing up before dawn, perfecting form, pushing limits, even when no one's watching. To be the best, you show up always. Every swing.
At Compass Financial Resources, we help individuals and families looking to take control of their financial future, to find clarity and confidence in the decisions that matter most. We are grateful for the clients who put their trust in us and excited to meet those who will have the privilege to help next. From all of us at Compass Financial Resources, we wish all of you a wonderful 2026.
Wow, I can't believe you really fit it all in one truck.
I told you, our trucks are bigger.
And our prices are better.
Junk King Kansas City. Bigger trucks, better prices. We treat our customers like royalty.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. If you've been injured in a car wreck, you don't deserve the medical bills or the lost wages, and you don't deserve to be treated like a nobody. You deserve better. Call me. I've got this.
The DM Injury Law Game of the Week on 38 The Spot is brought to you by DM Injury Law. You Move Me. Your Kansas City area Toyota dealers. Compass Financial Resources. Athletic Solutions. And Cruise Elite Basketball Academy. Welcome back inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School as we are at halftime where Pembroke leads 25-19. Tanner Collins happy to be alongside Rick Zeke here on 38 The Spot. Let's look at next week's matchup, sponsored by Compass Financial. Rick, we got a good one. It's going to be Baser at Piper.
Well, if you think KU K-State's a rivalry, this will rival Piper and Baser. About 15 miles separates them. It's bragging rights for that part of the Kansas City, Kansas. You have an excellent Piper girls team, top 3 in 5A, a really good Baser girls team, probably one of the most talented 5A basketball teams, Piper High School. You're going to see some really good athletes on the floor against a really tough and well-coached Baser team.
Rick, 25-19, Pembroke. There's a lot of Matt Hawkins. What'd you like out of Jack Hawkins' crew there in the first half?
Well, you got to find him. He can score, and you better have some help when he goes to the basket because he can finish both hands, shoot it above the rim. And again, your best player cannot penetrate the middle of your defense, and if it does, it's going to happen all night long.
On the other side for the home team, St. Thomas Aquinas, what adjustments do they need to make coming out of the break?
Well, they're going to have to be able to stop the middle of the lane. They're going to have to find a Sprout on the perimeter. I think Coach probably needs to talk about, let's get back to playing really tough and playing and scoring in the paint. I think they got him, Pembroke got him out of their game a little bit, getting them up and down, turned the ball over a little bit, which led to some easy points for Pembroke.
Pembroke leads 25-19 at halftime here on 38 The Spot. First half highlights are next, right after this.
In the heart of Overland Park, Kansas, there is a place where faith, excellence, and opportunity come together. At St. Thomas Aquinas High School, education is more than college preparation. It is a formation for life. Since opening its doors in 1988, Aquinas has grown into one of the Kansas's premier Catholic high school, shaping young men and women in faith, character, and excellence. Here, students are challenged by a rigorous college preparatory curriculum. Nearly every graduate goes on to higher education, carrying with them not just knowledge, but confidence in their God-given gifts. As the needs of students evolve, so does Aquinas. In 2024, the campus expanded to include its first on-site track and specialized arts and nursing labs, spaces where passions are discovered and futures begin to take shape. Excellence is woven into the culture. With 135 state championships, Aquinas students learn that discipline, teamwork, and faith go hand in hand. Success here is not measured solely by trophies, but by integrity, humility, and leadership. This is more than a school. It is a community. It is a mission.
Why do people love You Move Me?
Because we show up on time.
And take good care of their belongings.
Because we're friendly, uniform,
and professional.
I love You Move Me because they're reliable and they make moving effortless.
Love your move with You Move Me.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up. Toyota. Toyota. Let's go places.
$413 for a winner.
Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School, it's halftime where Pembroke leads 25-19. Rick, there's a couple banners here inside the arena.
Well, they got one of the best athletic departments, not just in the state of Kansas, but in the Midwest. As you see, it's a variety of boys and girls sports. They've won a national championships in soccer, forensics. They got excellent cross-country teams. The volleyball team, for the last few years, have been a dominant at the 5A level. There's not much else you can say. Sports is an emphasis here. DM Law, Game of the Week. Absolutely. We thank our sponsors to make this possible.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at some first half highlights. Halftime highlights are presented by Toyota. Rick? A lot of action there in the first half.
Well, especially early. Sabres really got tough and finished up a couple of them in the paint, showed some of his strength. He's just a winner, and Coach, they got to continue some of that. Right there with the young freshman. McCullough's got his two here. Good cut by Renzi to the basket. They got to have more movement in their offense, or they're going to see more layups if they do move the ball. You got Brown turns it over, and this is what they do best. They get out, they get Matt out on the floor and let him finish.
Hawkins with a game high, 12 points in the first half. Sabres put together 9 quick ones in the first quarter and was held scoreless in the second. Look at this nifty work by Hawkins. They'll pull-up jumper from 8 feet, splits 2 defenders with a two-handed jam. It was all Hawkins in the first half. 2 minutes till third quarter action here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School, right here on 38 The Spot.
Shields.
A large bank that stays tied to the community it serves? That's bold. For over 90 years, Security Bank has served the greater Kansas City area. That's longer than most of the barbecue joints around. What's our secret sauce? It's our commitment to local lending and local decisions, championing what makes Kansas City great. Because Kansas City is full of champions. Speaking of which, we've been recognized as the strongest large bank in KC. Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local.
I'm Mike DePasquale, Kansas City's lawyer, the city of champions. Living here, you learn what makes a community strong, what holds people together, and how to do what's right for friends, family, and neighbors. Kansas City is a place where values still matter and honesty is a way of life. It's where you can reach out to someone you trust if you need help. When you're injured, you want a lawyer who knows this city and a team that knows how to win. If you've been injured, call me. I've got this.
Why do people love You Move Me?
Because we show up on time.
And take good care of their belongings.
Because we're friendly, uniform,
and professional.
I love You Move Me because they're reliable and they make moving effortless.
Love your move with You Move Me.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up. Toyota. Toyota. Let's go places.
Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School, there's a look at Mav Hawkins, who had a game-high 12 points in the first half. Pembroke leads by 6. Tanner Collins alongside Rick Zeke. Happy to have you along here on 38 The Spot. Pembroke will work left to right here in the second half. And the Saints will work right to left in the white and blue. Hawkins,
go ahead. I used to tell our teams numerous times the first 4 minutes set the pace for the whole second half. So it's going to be very interesting who's going to make their run early, and then how do you adjust from that run?
Quick foul on Ben Renzi. Hawkins was driving in. Baseline out of bounds for Pembroke Hill with a fresh 35 on the shot clock. Pembroke 5-8 on the season. St. Thomas Aquinas at 2-5. We'll dump it into Hawkins, back out top. Good movement there. Sprott tries a 3, too strong. Sabres with the rebound. Here's Sabres inside. The lefty gets swatted away. Renzi thought about the corner 3. Sabres drives in the Euro step, a thing of beauty.
Good move. Good Euro step. That's where he makes his money, in the paint.
Now in double figures with 11. For the first 9 points of the game for the Saints back in the first.
And he only averages 7 points a game.
And a big collision on the far side of the floor, and they're going to hit Braden Shelley with an offensive foul. Turnover in the opening minute for Pembroke Hill.
That's Sprott's third foul. No, that's Shelley's third foul. He's not real happy with the call.
They'll leave him out on the floor. Sabres brings it across the timeline for the Saints. Here's Ben Renzi. Sabres baseline. Behind the back dribble. Renzi dumps it down inside. A nice dish, but another block from Nonamaker. And the possession will go back to Pembroke Hill. How about the defensive work underneath?
Nonamaker's, it's at least four blocks. He's really controlling the paint a little bit when they get close.
4-point lead for Pembroke Hill. led 25-19 at the break. Hawkins with a game-high 12 points, just behind Nick Sabers, now in double figures with 11.
Shelley's out of the game with 3 fouls now. They lose their quarterback a little bit. That's going to put the ball a little bit more in Hawkins' hands.
Jay Goodpaster back in for Pembroke Hill. Hawkins drives, and the layup is short. Sabers with another rebound. Renzi pump fake the 3, now drives. Looking for the dish, but it's off Pembroke Hill. It'll stay with the Saints. Baseline out of bounds.
Good hustle by Goodpaster.
Nick Sabers, 11 points, 8 rebounds, closing in on a double-double here tonight.
He's really the heart of their team right now.
Inbounds way out top. 3 left wing, too strong. Sabers with the offensive rebound. Renzi thought about the 3, and he's blocked again by guess who? Nonamaker.
And Tanner, he had to touch her body. It's nothing but a block on the ball.
Another 3 put up by the Saints. It doesn't go. The 3s have not come easy for either side here tonight.
Absolutely.
Hawkins looking to a coast-to-coast pull-up, off-balance jumper, goes down, and it's 14 points for Mav Hawkins. Half his shots he's made tonight were off balance. 3 on the other end, goes down for Cole Brown.
Well, it'd be nice for Cole to catch fire. Oh.
Another contested layup from Hawkins. Doesn't fall. Sabers hard to the floor. Slow to get up, down underneath. Saints trail by 3, 27-24 Pembroke. Saints starting to build some momentum here to start the second half.
Both teams are kind of sitting around waiting to make a move. They just can't get it done and try to pull away a little bit.
Cole Brown working out top. Dumps it off to Renzi. Brown thought about a 3. Floater doesn't fall. Hawkins with the rebound, ahead for Nonamaker. Spin into the lane, and the layup wide left. Good body control there by the Saints. That was Jimmy Gillette.
They got some numbers.
Cole Brown back the other way, and it's another block for Nonamaker. We don't have official stats, but that's at least 6 that I can recall. 6 blocks for Nonamaker here tonight.
I think their team's used to it. They all just kind of shake their heads, and that's what he does.
It's hardly broken a sweat.
He tell you what, he saved some points, that's for sure.
Here's the freshman inside. Nearly cashes an and one, but will head to the line to shoot 2. That's Jacob McCullough, 6'7". Freshman.
Well, he's skilled, and Coach Cooper Smith's very excited about getting him more and more time. Like I said, it comes from a family. All of them are very big, all athletic, a great, great, great family. And probably his Aunt Carolyn might be better than all the boys. But it's a family name well known in Johnson County. What are they discussing here?
I believe who the foul was on. Now they got Inslee. Originally they called it on Cole Brown. Figuring out who the foul was on. Jacob McCullough, though, 3 points, 3 rebounds for the freshman. 1 more coming at the line. Too strong on the second attempt, but another chance here. Renzi will try a 3. Another board for McCullough. Back up with the right hand. Hawkins rips down the rebound.
Coach talked about it. At times, we just got to make a play. They've had their chances. That last foul became important because Inslee now has 3 fouls. So now you got 3 with Inslee. You got 3 with Shelley. They got to dip a little bit deeper into their bench, Pembroke.
Well, Berthoff back out on the floor for the Saints, along with Whalen. So 2's checked in for St. Thomas Aquinas. Hawkins way out top, midway through the third. Pembroke leading by 2. And another turnover for Mav Hawkins. Here come the Saints. Sabers dumps it off. Layup doesn't fall. Good passer with the rebound. Hawkins euroing into the lane, out of control. The Saints looking to tie this game up. Underneath, layup goes. Everett Whalen ties this one up at 27 apiece.
Coach Hawkins trying to slow them down. Looks like they want to run a set, kind of get a team back into control. Coaching his son up. Probably not real happy with Mav right now.
They'll dump it across. Good pass underneath. Inslee looking to lay it in, and he's fouled and will shoot 2.
I think Coach Hawkins talking to Mav a little bit about his decisions. Trying to play a little, force the ball a little bit too much to the basket. He's going to have to learn to kick it out. He's got guys out there who can shoot it.
Inslee strong on the first. Tied up at 27. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the third. Pembroke looking to take back the lead. Second free throw is off the mark. And we remain tied at 27. Saints looking to take back the lead for the first time since the first quarter. McCullough inside, flips it up, and just short. Good passer rips down his second consecutive rebound.
He's had 2 good looks right in front of the rim, Jacob McCullough.
Hawkins step back. Does not rattle in. Saints back up the floor. Inslee nearly with the steal. Underneath for Sabers.
Really good look.
Game high 13 points. And the Saints get their first lead since the first quarter.
Good look by Berthoff.
Timeout Hawkins. Pembroke takes their first timeout here tonight. 2:11 to play in the third.
Crowd's really getting into it today when they take a lead.
Nick Sabers now with a game high 13 points. Take a moment to thank our sponsors here tonight. The DM Injury Log Game of the Week is brought to you by Cruz Elite Basketball Academy, Junk King of Kansas City, Safe Haven, R.E. Pedrati Company, Cumpy's Sports and Apparel, Arment Enterprises, and Mike Sill Insurance. Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School, where the Saints retake the lead up to 29-27. Tanner Collins alongside Rick Zeke. You're right, Rick. The crowd's getting involved. Saints back on top.
Well, it's a game of runs. Pembroke had it in the second quarter. Aquinas has got one right now. Got the crowd into it a little bit. Gaining more and more confidence offensively. And really, they're the ones hitting the boards. The difference is taking care of the basketball on both ends.
Nick Sabers, the double-double, 13 points, 10 boards. 9 of those points came in the first quarter. He has been a force all night long.
And a lot of those rebounds are offensive.
Pembroke looking to bounce back out of their first timeout, trailing by 2. Hawkins gets it down underneath. Good passer, drives baseline. Spins, puts it up, it doesn't fall, and the 11th rebound is brought down by Sabers. Good passer's been huge on the glass defensively for Pembroke. Here comes Hawkins. He gets the foul. Saints fans think it was a bailout, but Hawkins once again a little out of control there into the lane. But
yeah, and I don't know what he was going to do when he's going to the basket, but Jacob McCullough thought he reached in there and got all ball.
Fresh 35 for Pembroke. Hawkins has yet to hit from downtown. Sprott about pulled up from NBA range. How about that jumper from just outside the free throw line? We're tied at 29.
Yeah, he's got a really great ability to catch fire. He could take the game over from the three-point line, Sprout.
Freshman Nicola out top. Here's Brown. Brown looking to drive. The three is short on the far side from Nick Saber. Pembroke looking to take back the lead. Sprott out top. Working on the freshman McCullough. Blows by underneath. Layup doesn't spin through. And McCullough brings down the rebound. Freshman putting in some big time minutes here tonight. Cole Brown left wide open. Off the mark. Hawkins with the rebound. Now Pembroke can hold for one final shot, tied at 29 here in the third.
I think we're going to see a little bit of Mav Hawkins here when the clock runs down.
Nearly step back court.
Coaches tell him to pick it up, deny it back to him. Make him work for it.
Nonamaker with it. Hawkins looking for it. 5 to shoot. Nonamaker drives, spins, puts it up, and it falls. We'll head to the fourth with Pembroke Hill leading 31-29. How about that nifty move and finish? Nonamaker has been a huge impact here tonight. We'll be right back. The final frame here on 38 The Spot.
At Compass Financial Resources, we help individuals and families looking to take control of their financial future, to find clarity and confidence in the decisions that matter most. We are grateful for the clients who put their trust in us and excited to meet those we'll have the privilege to help next. From all of us at Compass Financial Resources, we wish all of you a wonderful 2026.
Back here inside St. Thomas Aquinas High School, Tanner Collins alongside Rick Z. Happy to have you along here on 38th Spot. It's been a fun matchup. Pembroke hits that buzzer beater to end the third by Bobby Nonamaker. Has been everywhere for Pembroke.
Well, you can't ask him to do anything else. He's got 4 or 5 blocks. He's got a handful of rebounds. He's playing his role. He's going to have to continue it down the stretch if Pembroke could come back with a win. I think the crowd's getting into a little bit more. They just threw out some free T-shirts from Relic Apparel. Jared Eller. Thank you, Relic.
The DM injury log game of the week, and it has been a good one. Those folks back at home are getting your money's worth here tonight. Pembroke leads by 2, fourth quarter underway. Saints with the opening possession.
Possessions become really important right now. You can't waste possessions. Your best players have to take the shots.
Here's Renzi driving in with the left hand. No foul, and then a foul after the shot on the floor called on Sprott.
Aquinas has just missed numerous layups at the rim.
Jack Grant is first.
Baseline out of bounds for Sabres, who has a double-double here tonight. Fresh 35 on the clock for the Saints. To get it all the way in bounds out to Ben Renzi, who will set up the offense, trailing by 2. Back out top for Brown. Whalen starting here in the fourth. Kicks it back out. Renzi pump fakes a three, drives in. Hawkins looking for the charge. Tough layup. Here comes Pembroke.
Hawkins really made him change his move.
Nonamaker spinning, dishing. Shelley three, short. Would have been a big one, but another offensive rebound. Hawkins gets it, taking away another turnover. Here's a three from the Saints. Too strong. Offensive rebound. Renzi tied up at 31 apiece.
Great effort by Renzi. Didn't give up on the play. Went up over Hawkins to go get the rebound.
Tied up at 31. Here's Inslee. Driving, kicking. Three from the corner is short. And Cole Brown's looking to run and get back the lead. Got his defender in the air, kicked it out. A lot of steps, layup short.
Another one at the rim.
Sprott with the rebound. Shelley back the other way for Pembroke. Coast to coast with the right hand over Sabres. Pembroke back up two. How about the finish on the other end from Brown? The pace is booming here in the fourth. Back and forth we go. We're tied at 33 apiece.
Really good high school basketball game on both ends.
Hawkins will try a three. Off the mark, 0 for 5 from deep. Like we said, Rick, the threes have not come easy for either side here tonight. As I say, Ben Renzi slashes one home, and it's a 3-point lead for the home team.
He's their leading scorer. They've missed that with his injury and sickness.
How will Pembroke Hill respond? The Saints' largest lead since the first quarter. Shelley drives and kicks and is fouled underneath. Called on Everett Whalen.
Pembroke looks really out of sync offensively a little bit. And when they get lost, they're just putting their head down and going to the basket.
Gavin will check back in for St. Thomas Aquinas. John Schroeder back out on the floor for Pembroke Hill.
Yeah, I have no idea what the dispute is here. I think they're looking again on who fouled who.
Long discussion there underneath. They're just trying to decide who the foul was on, potentially. Both teams will go to their respective bench. Sounds like they're calling it a media timeout. Head coach Jeff Hawkins at Pembroke Hill looks to be amped up. I don't think anyone in the arena is quite sure what the situation is.
It's almost like they need a video review, Tanner. I don't know. The flow of game has been stopped. I wouldn't be real happy right now if I was Coach Coopersmith. They really made a run there. The crowd got into it a little bit.
Discussion continues on the middle of the floor. It appears just a timeout. We'll see what the call is here after the discussion concludes. They were double checking who the foul was on. They're going to say it was on Whalen, number 4 for St. Thomas Aquinas. About to get action back underway. 5:12 to go here in the fourth. Pembroke trailing by 3. Jeff Hawkins all the way out on the floor.
Now they're saying the foul was on 4, but it's their basketball. That's 4 on Shelley.
Baseline out of bounds, a good look underneath, and free throws for John Schroeder. Nice look on the inbounds from Sprott.
Schroeder's a soccer player, a competitor. Coach said he's a glue guy for the basketball team. He showed his hustle a couple times today. Not much of an offensive player.
Chance to cut into the 3-point deficit. First free throw goes for John Schroeder. Three points, 4 rebounds, and a steal. And rattles in that one. Now 4 points.
Those are big points at this time of the game.
1 point deficit for Pembroke Hill. Sabres across the timeline, guarded by Inslee.
They're posting up Brown.
Brown working inside and gets it to fall. Back to a 3-point lead for the Saints. Shelley back up the floor for Pembroke Hill. Hawkins will try a 3 from downtown, and he gets one to fall. It's just a matter of time. On his 6th attempt, we're tied at 38.
Well, he gains confidence. He could take this game over. Tanner, he could take it over.
Went scoreless in the 3rd, and now 18, and a charge underneath. Big time defensive play by Cal Sprott.
I believe it's on Cal Sprott.
So we had a charge called underneath the rim.
Backdoor cut. Right in front of the referee, called it quick. I don't know. Looked like he was set. Referee was right there.
It appeared that Sprott had some words to the student section potentially across the floor. Technical foul called on Cal Sprott. A lot of confusion down on the floor.
They're having problems with numbers on players, is what it seems like. Which is also a personal foul. Coach Hawkins is asking questions, what he said, and when.
On the other side, Gavin will shoot his 2 free throws after the technical foul. And the first one goes down. 4:23 to play, 1 free throw left for Gavin after the technical on Sprott. 1 for 2 at the line, so Pembroke just trails by 1.
I would have no idea what he said, but he did get a charge, so he was rewarded for the charge, so it must have been the interaction after he got up with either an Aquinas player or the referee.
Back underway, Sabres gets the inbound. Now the Saints leading by 1. Inslee defending.
They're trying to post Cole Brown up. Shelley with 4 fouls.
Renzi out top, looking to drive on Hawkins. 12 to shoot for the Saints. And it's stolen away by Shelley. Here comes Pembroke. And one from Braden Shelley. Big time finish. Pembroke back up 1.
Well, Coach Hawkins said he's our quarterback, he's our leader, and he's showing it down the stretch now.
Take a look. Steele on the defensive end, coast to coast on the other end. Maybe an extra step, but hey.
They wanted a walk, but I didn't see a walk. He finished strong. That's a big basketball play.
Saints were looking for a travel, but instead, Braden Shelley will have a chance at a three-point play. Huge free throws down the stretch over past the midway point here in the fourth, and it's a 2-point lead for Pembroke Hill.
I think both coaches talked about this when we met with them this week. Who's going to make the play?
A lot of contact defensively from Hawkins. Brown drives in. Good body control against Shelley, and we're tied at 41.
That's a big-time play for a sophomore.
Nice work on the other end by Shelley after allowing the bucket, drawing a foul, and he'll shoot free throws.
Saints number 20 will Burrow his first.
5, they'll be shooting free throws from here on in.
Braden Shelley will head to the line to shoot 2.
I'm sure Coach Hawkins is going to talk about it. We're going to shoot free throws the last 3.5 minutes. You keep attacking that rim, get on that line.
First free throw off the mark from Shelley. They'll have a chance to give Pembroke back the 1-point advantage. And he hits the second. Saints trail by 1. 3:30 to go here in the fourth. DM injury lock, game of the week here on 38th The Spot. It's coming down to the wire. Cooper Smith will take a timeout, his first here tonight.
It'll be interesting what Coach Cooper Smith's going to come up with. Right now, the last 2 or 3 possessions, he's had a lot of success sliding Cole Brown down at the post. And if Shelley's got 4 fouls, I'm sure he's going to go right back to the post, see if he can foul out their quarterback, Shelley, and see if they can get him some points or put him on the line.
We'll look inside the huddle. St. Thomas Aquinas, 2-5 to start the season. It's been back and forth all night long, high energy. Great crowd here tonight at St. Thomas. The Saints trail by 1. Pembroke 5-8 on the season. Nav Hawkins coming off his first 3 hit, has 15. Come down to the end here tonight.
Yeah, both coaches talk about finishing games. We're here. This is a point they got to prove it right now. You can play close, but you don't get anything for it. Both teams have had a difficult schedule, but both coaches agreed we could have won a lot more than what we played, than what we won if we just finished the basketball game.
There's a look at the Pembroke Hill bench under head coach Jeff Hawkins. Very animated, high energy. Be a fun coach to play for.
Absolutely, and I think he's really trying to motivate him these last 3 minutes.
Saints looking to respond out of the timeout. Ben Renzi near the center circle.
They go to a 1-3-1 zone. Coach switches it up a little bit. That will eliminate your post up.
Corner 3, Hawkins with the contest. It's off the mark. Brown with the rebound. And it's going to be over the back. Called on Cole Brown. Big time call. Gives possession back to Pembroke.
That's a really big call. He looked like he elevated over. We're going to shoot free throws. Again, from here on out, you hit your free throws. At the same time, if you can't knock him down.
Sure did look like Brown was vertical there on the rebound, but see what Inslee, if he can answer on the other side with free throws.
Inslee shoots 68%. He doesn't get to the line much, but he shoots 68% from the free throw line.
Need to extend the lead. First free throw rims out.
Remember, with no more 1-on-1, you got 2 from here on out.
0 for 2 at the line. Sabres with the rebound. 3 minutes to go here in the fourth. Here the center circles the Sabres. Sabres looking to drive on Inslee. It's knocked out of play, a costly turnover. Good defensive work by Elijah Inslee after missing 2 free throws on the other end.
Those turnovers hurt. You don't get a shot, don't get a chance for a rebound.
Shelley slowing down the tempo for Pembroke Hill. And now Pembroke will take a timeout. Head coach Jeff Hawkins will look to set up a play with 2:40 to go, leading by 1.
Well, Coach Hawkins just walked by his son Mav, and I'm sure he said something like, hey, it's about time to take over. Let's get it done here. We're going to put the ball in your hand. And if don't play 1-on-5, kick it out to our open shooters in rhythm, and let's just get a win. Let's walk out of here with the win.
First time out taken by Pembroke Hill here in the second half. Big possession coming up for Pembroke. On the other side, Saints trail by 1. Pembroke's largest lead here tonight is 5. St. Thomas' largest lead was 3.
Neither team has really had a chance to pull away. I mean, you felt like Aquinas was going to do it in the second half. You felt like in the second quarter, Pembroke was going to do it. Then both teams kind of shoot themselves in the foot when it's a chance to pull away a little bit. So we're going to have an exciting last 2 minutes and 40 seconds, Tanner.
Look at the band here for St. Thomas Aquinas, bringing the energy here tonight for your DM Injury Law Game of the Week. Happy to have you along here on 38 The Spot. Tanner Collins, Rick Deek here with you tonight. Pembroke 25 to shoot here, leading 42-41. Mav Hawkins, a game high 17 points to go along with 6 rebounds. He's averaging 20, just 3 away. Look for Pembroke to eye Hawkins here out of the timeout. Shelley corrals the inbound back across the center circle.
Looked like they tried to post up Mav Hawkins.
12 to shoot for Pembroke. And another foul. That one hurts if you're the Saints. Yeah. 2 free throws for Braden Shelley.
Yeah, I think he reaches in. You got the clock winding down. He had his head down. Now you got Shelley.
Saints coaches are saying it was 3, but it was definitely Braden Shelley fouled underneath.
The foul was on Baron Gavin. His second.
They've had difficulty all night, Tanner. Who fouled? Who's supposed to be at the line?
First free throw is good.
He's a 68% free throw shooter, so Pembroke's got to be happy with him at the line.
7 points, 3 rebounds, make it 8 points now for Braden Shelley, and it's back to a 3-point advantage for Pembroke Hill. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the fourth.
Really big possession for St. Thomas Aquinas.
Renzi looking to dump it down for Brown. He's fouled underneath. Baseline out of bounds for St. Thomas Aquinas.
I think that's 5 fouls on Brandon Shelley. Yeah. That's really big. He's hit some big free throws. He's really their point guard, per se.
I'll bring in Schroeder for Shelley. Braden Shelley tonight, 8 points, 3 rebounds. Pembroke Hill leading by 3.
what that does right now is takes away one of your better free throw shooters, and Pembroke probably has 3 guys on the floor shooting less than 50% from the free throw line.
Out top for Brown. Swatted away by Hawkins. It's Pembroke ball. Out of bounds off the Saints. And a big-time defensive stand.
I think Notamaker got its hand in on that one also.
Two minutes to play. Here's Hawkins out top, defended by Ben Renzi. And he draws a foul, 2 free throws. That's what you got to do if you're Hawkins.
Yeah. Those early fouls in the quarter really come back to bite him a little bit. Pembroke just got to hit free throws at the same time. Aquinas wants to be physical and play some defense, or they're reaching.
18 points now for Mav Hawkins here tonight, a game high.
Now it becomes a 2-possession game, which changes everything.
18 to go along with 6 rebounds, looking to make it 19 with this free throw. And it rattles out. Saints trail by 4. Here's Renzi working on Hawkins. Drives in with the left hand. Timeout, St. Thomas Aquinas. With 1:45 to play.
Really good move by Renzi.
2-point lead for Pembroke Hill. How about this finish?
He beats Mav Hawkins. Good finish with his left hand. The weak side help had to jump out to the corner. They had a shooter out there, and he finishes.
Nice finish by Ben Renzi. 1:45 to go. St. Thomas using their second timeout. Renzi with 9 points, 4 rebounds.
He's been sick. He's been gone for 2 weeks, so it's a really good sign for the St. Thomas Aquinas to get him back.
No Braden Shelley fouled out in the 4th. 8 points, 3 rebounds. Free throws the rest of the way for Pembroke. Hawkins will bring it up the floor. Renzi defending. Hawkins across the center circles. And will drive. Put it up. And the foul. Big time finish from the Vanderbilt commit.
That's what good players do. They can make big plays at big times of the game.
21 points for Mav Hawkins and a chance to add one more.
He beats his man. He goes through. He goes through 2 other defenders. Probably had a chance for a charge.
Free throw goes down.
If Gillette keeps his feet set, probably had a chance. He was off balance and he left his feet.
22 points for Mav Hawkins. Here's Sabres on the other end, swatted but fouled, and that was once again Bobby Notamaker underneath.
The foul on Bobby Notamaker is
He got his hand on the ball again.
At the line, Nick Sabres.
Nick Sabres will head to the line, trailing by 5.
Nick shoots over 70% from the free throw line.
First one is good.
Coach would love to have him down the stretch on the free throw line.
Expect a full court press from the Saints here off the free throw.
Also, probably Aquinas needs to start thinking about who struggles from the free throw line. And we want to put those guys on the line. Big offensive rebound.
Renzi off the mark. Cole Brown with the rebound. Third opportunity doesn't fall, and here comes Pembroke looking to take it coast to coast. Sprott to the rim, off the glass for 2. And Jeff Hawkins is fired up for Pembroke Hill. Hawkins took a timeout right after the layup by Cal Sprott.
A save.
30-second timeout.
Kalsprop finishes it.
With the flex.
Then Coach Hawkins quickly gets a timeout all the way down on the baseline. Got Aquinas missed some point-blank shots again. There was a lot of action on that possession down there. They just didn't get it finished. Pembroke crowd's really getting into it right now. Pembroke still got the next team foul, they'll be shooting.
Pembroke with their largest lead here tonight, up 6. Hawkins with some full court pressure. And gets the whistle, called for the foul. That far away from the basket, up 6.
Coach is telling him, that's not real smart, son. Make him earn it.
At the line.
First free throw goes down. Bertle.
That's a big play because the clock's not running and they get 2 points, cut that lead maybe down to 4.
Chance to add one more here.
I imagine Aquinas is going to pick up on a press.
2 for 2. That cuts the deficit to 4. Here comes the press from the Saints.
If I was St. Thomas, I'd start thinking about who we can foul.
Each team has 2 timeouts left. Pembroke turns it. Oh, nearly turns it over.
There's our man again.
Donamaker chases it down in a quick foul. They're going to send Inslee to the free throw line.
That is an awful big play. He chases the ball down without it going out of bounds, throws it back to his teammate.
Is fourth. Check down is third.
54.6 seconds remain here in the fourth. Big free throws here for Elijah Inslee. First free throw is nothing but net.
Not a big offensive threat, but Coach said, I love him down the stretch. He's a winner.
Chance to extend the lead to 6. 2 for 2 at the line. Big time free throws.
That's what glue guys do down the stretch.
Sabres across the timeline. Saints got to move quick. Looking for a 3. Pull up Jay from the free throw line. Doesn't fall. Another offensive rebound for Brown. And Hawkins comes away with it. And it's fouled on the other end and will head back to the line to shoot 2.
Loose ball. Could have been anybody's ball there.
His second.
"21 points tonight for Mav Hawkins and a chance to add 2 more. Now with the shot clock turned off the rest of the way. First free throw is short.
.33 seconds left.
Over 2 at the line from Hawkins. Inslee with a steal defensively. Timeout Pembroke Hill.
Big play. Still a 2-possession game. Big steal by Inslee.
The biggest play tonight after the 2 missed free throws from Hawkins. Inslee with the steal. Timeout Pembroke.
Now we're seeing what Coach talked about. when we met with him earlier this week that Inslee makes big plays. He's our glue guy. We got to have him on the floor. Not a great offensive player, but he makes things happen.
The DM injury log game of the week. It's been a good one here tonight. But Pembroke now back up 6. They take a timeout after the steal from Inslee. Free throws the rest of the way.
Coach Coopersmith's got to be talking about, we got to try to get a steal. We got to foul immediately. And let's talk a little bit about who's got poor free throw percentages. So he's got a great staff. I'm sure they went through that. I certainly want to try to keep the ball away from Matt Hawk.
There's a look at the Pembroke Hill bench. A look at the Pembroke student section. It was come alive here in the 4th quarter. Big inbounds here for Pembroke Hill. Kyle Sprott the trigger.
Shot clock turned off.
1 timeout left for Pembroke.
Oh.
And dumped it inside. And going for the dunk. It's short. Nonamaker missed. And it's out of play. Possession back to the Saints.
I think he was going in for a left-handed dunk.
I respect it. He's got 6 blocks tonight. He can afford to go up for a jam.
He earns it. He earns it.
23 seconds to go. A lot of contact defensively. Saints got to throw up a 3 off the mark. A fight for the rebound. It's off Brown, out of play. It'll stay with the Saints with 10 seconds to go. Pembroke closing in on a win on the road. And the Saints will use another timeout.
Good hustle by Inslee and Gillette there. This is a tough place to get it in bounds. It's in the deep corner over here, Tanner. It's really difficult. You're not used to running your out of bounds plays in that deep corner.
10.7 to play. St. Thomas Aquinas trailing by 6. How about the night from Bobby Nonamaker? Been everywhere. Blocks left and right. Nearly with a one-handed flush. He's been everywhere for Pembroke here tonight.
And he's a crowd favorite. Every time he touches the ball, he blocks a shot. The crowd's going crazy. He's earned it tonight. He's got a reputation of being a winner.
Tanner Collins, Rick Zeep. Be right back here on 38th Spot next Friday. Fun matchup. Acer Linwood at Piper. 5:30 women's game, 7 o'clock for the boys. Happy to bring high school basketball back onto TV here in Kansas City. There's a look. Next Friday, January 16th. You won't want to miss it. A big rivalry between Baser Linwood and Piper with the boys game to follow. Saints with an inbound here, though, trailing by 6, just over 10 seconds to play. Need a quick 3. Looking for an inbound.
Really good defense against a 3.
Cole Brown underneath, gets the layup to fall. And the Saints will use their final timeout, now trailing by 4.
Well, if we watch a KU game this week,
you never know.
You know how tough it is to get it in bounds. And I'm sure that's what Coach Coopersmith, you got to remember, it'd be interesting if he puts a guy on the ball, because sometimes if you don't put a guy on the ball, you have 5 guys, they have 4. So if they're going to try to get a steal, they might have to utilize that strategy. It'd also be interesting over here what Coach Hawkins is going to do. Is he going to use the whole floor with 7 seconds? If you do turn it over, you turn it over in your own backcourt, or are you going to go up there and just try to play one-on-one and have them try to go use Mav Hawkins' athleticism and go get the ball?
The Pembroke left with 1 timeout. The Saints have used all of theirs. Pembroke leads by 4. Hawkins has led the way in the scoring column once again here tonight.
I thought that was really good defense on Pembroke then. They gave up a 2, but a 2 doesn't hurt them there. It's still a 2-possession game. Nobody's on the ball. They're going to use all 5 against their 4. Look like they try to beat it all the way down.
Inslee to inbound, a heads-up play by Hawkins to deflect it off the defense.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious they're trying to get Mav Hawkins' ball, but he didn't run the baseline. Now it's more difficult. Now we're sitting right here.
And a quick foul there underneath. Nice job by Pembroke getting it in play. Sprott will head down to shoot 2 free throws with 5.8 seconds left in the fourth.
Yeah. Now, if you're Pembroke, you tell them you don't have to take the ball in bounds. They're out of timeouts. And
first free throw is good.
I like Cal. He's a gutsy little player. He can shoot. He averages 15 points a game. He's one of their true leaders.
Senior at the line looking to add one more. And a line change from Pembroke. It's just under 6 seconds to play.
That's a big win for Pembroke with their schedule ahead. I know Coach really thought this was one they need.
Sabres from downtown missing short. And Pembroke Hill comes on the road and knocks off Aquinas here tonight, led by Mav Hawkins, 54-48. What a game, Rick.
Great game. This is what high school basketball should be every Friday.
Both teams meeting in the middle. For Pembroke, they moved to 6-8 on the season. St. Thomas Aquinas falls to 2-6. Bobby Nunemaker everywhere for Pembroke here tonight. Mav Hawkins, 21 points, 6 rebounds, and he's our player of the game here tonight, brought to you by Cruz Elite Basketball Academy. We'll take a break and be right back after this on 38th The Spot.
A large bank that stays tied to the community it serves? That's bold. For over 90 years, Security Bank has served the greater Kansas City area. That's longer than most of the barbecue joints around. What's our secret sauce? It's our commitment to local lending and local decisions, championing what makes Kansas City great, because Kansas City is full of champions. Speaking of which, we've been recognized as the strongest large bank in KC. Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. If you've been injured in a car wreck, you don't deserve the medical bills, you don't deserve the lost wages, and you don't deserve to be treated like a nobody. You deserve better. You deserve someone in your corner. At my firm, all we do is injury law. We've recovered over $1 billion for people just like you. We're here to make sure you get what you deserve. If you've been hurt, call me. I've got this.
Founded with
the DM Injury Law Game of the Week on 38th The Spot is brought to you by DM Injury Law. You Move Me. Your Kansas City area Toyota dealers. Compass Financial Resources. Athletic Solutions. And Cruz Elite Basketball Academy.
In the heart of Overland Park, Kansas, there is a place where faith, excellence, and opportunity come together. At St. Thomas Aquinas High School, education is more than college preparation. It is a formation for life. Since opening its doors in 1988, Aquinas has grown into one of the Kansas's premier Catholic high school, shaping young men and women in faith, character, and excellence. Here, students are challenged by a rigorous college preparatory curriculum. Nearly every graduate goes on to higher education, carrying with them not just knowledge, but confidence in their God-given gifts. As the needs of students evolve, so does Aquinas. In 2024, the campus expanded to include its first on-site track and specialized arts and nursing labs, spaces where passions are discovered and futures begin to take shape. Excellence is woven into the culture. With 135 state championships, Aquinas students learn that discipline, teamwork, and faith go hand in hand. Success here is not measured solely by trophies, but by integrity, humility, and leadership. This is more than a school. It is a community. It is a mission.
I'm Mike DePasquale, Kansas City's lawyer, the City of Champions. KC is a place where values still matter and honesty is a way of life. When you're injured, you want a lawyer who knows this city and a team that knows how to win. If you've been injured, call me. I've got this.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up. Toyota. Let's go places.
Founded with the vision to bridge the...
So, you want to be the best? The best commit to showing up before deals.
What a night of high school basketball here in Kansas City. Pembroke takes it on the road here at Aquinas tonight. Let's take a look at our player of the game. The player of the game is sponsored by Cruz Elite Basketball Academy, and it was Mav Hawkins. 21 points here tonight, Rick. What a night.
Well, he got it done when he had to. Everybody saw the explosiveness. Everybody saw the offensive output that he could put up, and he showed it down the stretch. He made some big plays down the stretch. Finishing up his senior season before heading to play at Vanderbilt in the Southeastern Conference. Pembroke comes on the road and takes it 54-48. For our producer back at the studio, Sean Belden. For Rick Zeke, my name is Tanner Collins. Fun night here on 38 The Spot. Pembroke comes away with the win here tonight. Here's a look at the night. Pembroke, big road win, Rick. And next week's matchup is going to be a good one. Baser-Linwood at Piper. Big time rivalry right back here on 38 The Spot. It'll be Rick and I once again next Friday the 16th. Signing off here, though, tonight, it's all Pembroke and Mav Hawkins, 54-48. Signing off from 38 The Spot.